Whoops-a-daisy. There we go. Okay. Let's give this a shot. Ah. Oh no, I didn't mean to be behind an ad. When will I ever learn? Oh shit, that's good. Okay. All right. We got quite a cast of characters going on here. Yeah, well, you kind of were. Sort of a reunion of close departed friends going on here, but no big deal, I guess. Oh no, I can leave. Oh no, I can leave. No, don't. So let's try to be polite. There's no reason at all for you to feel hostile towards them anymore. Jade is very nice and she did nothing wrong. None of them did, so when you wake up, maybe you should try to reconcile with them. Or at the very least, just say hello. Did you? Did I what? Be nice to them or whatever before you exploded? Well, no, but I should have. I did with you before I left, didn't I? Yeah, I gotta watch that video that you sent me. I guess so. This is awkward. Shush you. What actually happened after I died? It sounds complicated. It is. I'll get you up to speed, I promise. But guys, come on, let's not scare away our guest. Okay, then, I'll shut up. I think one Aradia saying things is more than enough, probably. You could say that again. But I mean, don't say it again literally, because that's kind of the whole point and would completely contradict. Oh my god, shut up. It's okay. I can take another nap later when you guys aren't busy. No, Jade, it's okay. Please stay. I'm curious about why you're here. Well, I've just been enjoying these little naps more and more lately. Each time I go to sleep, I meet more new people and learn so much. But I still can't get Carcat to take a nap. Boy, talk about a guy who's anti-nap. Yeah, what a douche. Seriously, he's the douchiest of Krabby Crabs who ever douched a big douchey crab. Lol. But yeah, it's been fun. I should really thank Pfeffery again for setting it up so we could meet like this. Wait, FF is here? Yep. Oh god, why didn't that occur to me? Where is she? Probably in another bubble, but you'll find her. Maybe during your next nap. Well, shit, why can't I just go glub around out there in the ring and find her now? I mean, aside from the fact that I'm blind and completely useless. Navigating between bubbles is difficult here. It's better to drift between them naturally as they intersect, not spatially, but through common points in memory. To navigate the furthest ring, you need to have mastered the flow of time. That is why I'm here. I'm alive again, so I may assist the dead in this way. Huh. Jade, tell me, have you seen me here before? I mean, me dressed like I am now wearing my godhood? Yeah, you're really nice and helpful. Wait, what? You're wearing a godhood? Why did you tell me that? What gives? Or that you came back to life? I'm wearing a hood and have butterfly wings. What else would you like to know? Man, being blind is dumb. Can I, like, grope you or something to get up to date on your appearance? Would that be weird? Yes, Solix, that would probably be pretty weird. I think your outfit looks cute. I love your wings, too. Thank you. Your outfit is quite spiffy, too. I like that skirt a lot, especially. Is that a skirt? I'm not sure. Rolling my eyes is what I would be doing if that were possible. Shh. Ah, come on. You were making a point. Hey, come on. You were making a point. Yes, okay, you see those encounters you had with me before have not happened for me yet because I've only just arrived. Time follows strange paths here as does space. If you travel a great enough distance, you may discover you are also traveling either backwards or forwards in time as well. Just as if you stay in one place for too long, the geometry of space surrounding you will become unreliable. You may swat the air to your left and discover you have just slapped yourself. The only way to make sense of it is to understand either property very well, and since I'm new here, I have some learning to do just like everyone else. But I do know one thing. What? I knew that the first bubble I would enter would be an important one for us to visit. What's so important about it? Hang on, we're moving to a new memory. Hold that thought. It is important because it will help us begin to understand why we're all here. What do you mean why we're all here? You mean in the afterlife? That's easy, because she's asleep, she's dead, you're alive, and I'm blind. Couldn't be simpler. No, not why we're in this bubble now, but why we all exist in the first place and why we all went on this adventure together. Oh, that. There's much to understand, and I believe it all begins with one sequence of events. Watching will help those who've passed to understand the purpose of their sacrifice, and those still living to understand what must be done to complete the journey still ahead. We will let their memories lead the way. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. Okay, let's allow the next memory to take shape. I believe it is Kanaya's. I'll reprise my role in a conversation I had with her shortly after I discovered the ruins. Everybody hide and try not to spoil it for her until she remembers. Whoop. Hey Kanaya, there's something I want to give you. Oh really? Yes, it's something very odd I found when I discovered the ruins the other night. I don't know what its archaeological significance is yet, but I suspect you will be about to repair it. This is a dream, isn't it? Oh, wow. Wow, you figured that out very fast. It seemed obvious. Either I'm sleeping or I'm dead. Which is it? Oh, I'm sure you're alive. You're unconscious now and will likely wake up as your new self very soon. My new self? Yes, you're undergoing a metamorphosis which you have been groomed for since you were very young, much like I was for my various personal iterations, including this one. You mean being a ghost, and then a frog, and then a robot, and then a fairy? Yes, but it sure sounds silly when you list them all like that. Kind of. What do you mean we have been groomed? Well, that is what we're about to find out. If you will oblige us by continuing with this memory. Okay, what do I do? Why don't we go through this conversation again to the best of our recollection? And I guess rather than acting it out, we can just talk about it, the old-fashioned way. Was what we were attempting before not old-fashioned? I have no idea. It seems to me the nature of the afterlife is probably very old-fashioned. Maybe even the most old-fashioned a thing can get. Yeah, you know what I mean, though. Yes, then. This was when you were about to give me that unusual gift from the ruins. Yes. I then had Solix deliver the pieces to you so you could stitch it back up. Solix, this is your cue. Come out and play the part. So we don't have to hide anymore? No, of course not. Obviously, the jig is up. Everyone can come out now. Yay! So, like... Hold on a second. Yes, something like that. But there's more that might... You ever have it where your toenails just kind of gets fucked up? You're not doing anything? That's what happened. So, like, okay, so I'm supposed to act out what I did before when I brought her these shitty doll parts. Is that what's going on here? Yeah, I'm still not sure, Radio. Are we supposed to be role-playing? No, guys, come on. This isn't that complicated. It wasn't more an owie. It's more just like, it's just like gently sticking into the skin. So then it's like, you just feel it. That's a little bothersome. It's like, oh, get out of there. No, guys, come on. This isn't that complicated. We're just revisiting the past just like we would if we were talking about it. But it just so happens we can watch it happen as we talk about it. And as a matter of fact, the story does involve a role-playing game, but not in that way. This is kind of stupid. You're stupid and you sound stupid. Holy shit, I do sound stupid. What the fuck is it about fifth of all the fifth only? I don't know, but you may be waking up soon. Oh, okay, great. I'll miss the rest of the cool third, sir. Okay. Maybe not if we hurry this along. Wait, before we do, hi, Kanaya. It is nice to meet you. Hi, Jade. What is that thing you were wearing? You don't like it? No, I don't mean to sound disapproving, but I do think more colorful apparel suits you better. Yes, I know you told me. I did? Yes, but you probably haven't yet, not from your perspective. I cannot help but overhear you're asleep now. You told me all about what happened after you woke up. About what? About how you turned into a vampire. What's a vampire? This is ridiculous. Solix is right. I mean, Solix. Kanaya, tell us what happened next. There isn't... Yeah, I mean, this does not... What you're wearing sucks. I think something else would fit you a lot better. There isn't much to say. I repaired the doll and made him a nice outfit, with a far more becoming palette and fit than the absurd tatters he was forced in, I thought at least. Yes. Should there be anything else to this story? Not really. Is that Dave's puppet? Yes. Ah, fit. I guess I'm out of here. Bye, Solix. See you later, little boy. Bye. Anyway, that is all I can remember. I quickly began to find the doll unnerving, so I put him away. To my knowledge, he has remained secure in my block ever since. Is he relevant in some way? Guys, why do you have Dave's puppet? What is going on here? Yes, Aradia, it seems you have some foreknowledge of this narrative. Maybe you could tell us why any of this is important. This is only a piece of the story. The other pieces will fall into place with successive memories and it'll all become clear. But yes, alright, I will eliminate some suspense and try to serve as a better guide on this tour through the catacombs of our collective subconscious. The separate tunnels we once traveled in the dark as individuals, we now retrace together with a torch. On the walls we illuminate the ruins, which describe a convoluted origin story. An origin we participated in. We were spurred to these actions by that which was being originated, and incited to acts of revenge as we were turned against each other. I don't remember this. I mean, I remember getting jumped off the cliff by my legs, but not the thing I'm doing now. No, our manipulator disguised his tracks well. Do I have to lie on the floor like this? Is that important? No, Tavris, you can get up. Also, can we, or at least I, be not in this memory, because it's one that's not as great as most. We will leave it soon, but you were doing something very important here. What was I doing? Writing a part of the code. Pan. An incomplete fragment consisting of 4 symbols comprising the first word of binary refrain, a pair of sounds emerging from the belly of a fabled tyrant's menace, but you authored only one sound of the pair. I would write the other. Flarp. In the suit of my ruined hive, I scrawled my part of the code, completing the phrase of legend. The persisting sound said to accompany the ultimate demise of the tyrant less an arm and an eye. But even those 8 characters, the scrawlings of charge, were still but half the code. Now we got Vriska in here. There was another half by Scourge in 2 parts. 1 part, 3 symbols. The other lady. Heads. Warp. And the other 5. Why the scale was tipped in this way between sisters, I cannot say. Flarp, 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 flarp. Each fragment would be transcribed in our rulebook, sealing the collaboration between Rust Bloods and Blue Bloods, completing the code for our session's architect. Not exactly. Tick-tock. Break heads? There was another fragment. Oh? Yes, an additional 8 symbols. From a wildcard source, I suppose. It came from a timeline not meant to happen. The one I came from to ensure it wouldn't, thus sealing my fate. Oh, Garket. I believe the fragment was gibberish from a lunatic. After completing his rampage through our session, since it was not part of the scripted chronology, I was oblivious until it was too late to stop it. Not that it would matter if I did, the timeline had already gone astray. I pieced together what had happened by sleuthing the various scenes. I discovered the text which the code was recorded in. I decided to return to the Alpha timeline with the text as evidence for his madness, I guess. In the Alpha timeline, this text was destroyed in an explosion caused by a computer virus. This explosion did not take place on my timeline. I identified this event as the difference prompting the offshoot, and returned to our planet via the Reckoning, just as I did at the end of my life. Though that time deliberately, to influence events quietly to make sure it happened. I later joined the rest of our doomed selves to help defeat the king. The others surely had similar responsibilities along the way. As for the book, I lost track of it shortly after I arrived. Yes, we all lost track of our books. They were gathered surreptitiously by agents assigned to the task. And in the veil, their codes were merged with the ghost imprints of other mysterious artifacts. Seizure alert. Our first guardian was brought to life on the seed to pass through Sky's final gate of defense, the first to find Alternia. He once again tried to beat Doc Scratch and fails spectacularly. You can't beat him no matter how hard you try. It is impossible. In fact, I think it would be for the best if I commandeered the narrative completely for a while. I trust you won't mind if I speak in white. It's not actually negotiable, but as a courtesy, I will enclose my words between a pair of visually audible brackets. I'm doing this because I can. God, okay. Is it dark mode? Yeah, there we go. Oh, God. Jesus, fuck. I'm also doing it because I'm expecting a guest to arrive shortly. This should enable me to show the man the sort of hospitality he deserves while doing the same for you. My apartment doesn't have a doorbell. Why would an omniscient fellow need to be alerted to the presence of a visitor? I know he'll be right on time, which is to say early, and if I did have a doorbell, you would have just witnessed it ring. He is already here. Oh. Let's get a gun. My door is not fitted with a peephole either. Those without eyes or without limbs, to their knowledge, have no need for peeping, and I'm without either. I've never once peeped at or through something, and I doubt I ever will. Apertures built into physical surfaces to reveal what's hidden behind them are for those with particular handicaps. They are for those lacking advanced vision to render the opaque permeable to light, or those lacking advanced knowledge to render the concealed information relevant, or both. They are for people who I call suckers. I know the identity of anyone who stands behind this door, even in those cases where I have not extended an invitation to the visitor personally. Pardon me while I let Jack inside. There's Jack from this timeline. Did you not believe it would be Jack? Who else would it be? Someone who would have suspected anyone else as a person I would have also described as a sucker. Haha, hee hee, hoo hoo. Hello, Slick. Won't you please Oh, for heaven's sake. Bonk, 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 bonk. Jack, stop it. Jack, Slick? What do you prefer I call you? It's one of the strange points of uncertainty which surrounds you. Maybe it is that you don't particularly care. Your flair is for the plain and serviceable, isn't it? Not much of your vanity is tied up in a name, I guess. Not going to tell me? Fine, I won't tell you my name either. Well, I might. If you would just show me some manners and stop hitting with a ridiculous horse hitcher, I won't crack no matter how senselessly drubbing. If only it were that simple. You're not going to stop, are you? It will be very difficult to discuss our points of mutual interest like this. I was prepared to go about it in a civilized way. Even though I knew very well I could spend the first several minutes of our meeting sitting on the floor while being flogged. I've even prepared a bowl of candy for you, which I know you will enjoy. Courtesy is important, Jack. Do you have anything at all to say? Any form of communication you care to attempt beyond the soul a sound iron makes against my head repeatedly? No, of course not. Took it away from him. What's that? I see. You think you already know my name. You do not know my real name, Jack, just as none of our adversaries on this planet know yours. You only know my nickname. It's a good nickname, too, befitting of the passive gunslinger charged with initiating the break. I my master's weapon, his soldier in a war of one bullet fired. But when that bullet clears the barrel, it won't be my finger on the trigger. I'm a facilitator, not an assassin. Here, Jack, why don't you go help yourselves to some candy over there on the table? There's something I need to take care of before we continue. I won't be long. Yes, good. Placate yourself with the Scotty dog, Slick. My supply's bottomless. I'm an excellent host. Don't. Right into that. When I was finished with this minor interruption, we will resume our gentlemanly negotiation. I'll proceed to beat you severely until you agree to do what I ask. I trust you won't take it personally. Now, please excuse me. I have a talk to a teenage girl from another universe. Be teenage girl from another universe. You cannot be a teenage girl from another universe because you're too busy being a teenage girl from this universe. You're busy being Rose Lalonde. Completely preoccupied with it, in fact. So preoccupied you have been neglecting messages from some of your friends who are trying to contact you, but you have a lot of important stuff to do. You will get back to them later. Pastor Informant. It's quite warm here on the Hawk. I think I've been patient enough. When will I receive instructions? Now. So, I could have contacted you at any time? No, only now. I came away with the impression from our last conversation that our next would take place on your invitation. I was being polite by waiting. Your inevitable impatience caused you to contact me again. Inevitability is my invitation. That's pretty smug. I'm right to be smug. I am omniscient, extremely powerful, and very charming. Well, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Can you use your limitless intelligence to figure out which ones I mean? That was clever. If I plead ignorance to the fact you were denying my charisma, it invalidates my claim of omniscience, but if I must adhere to all-knowing status, it forces me to validate the unfortunate reality that you are feigning the opinion that my demeanor is unpalatable. Not that it matters, because I have all 3 qualities, and you know it. This is stupid. Can we get to the point? Yes, I was about to say, we should hurry this along. My visitors begin to set things on fire. You have a visitor? Who? Some guy. I was joking anyway. I'm not in a hurry at all. You tell jokes? Yes. Ha ha. So your visitor isn't setting anything on fire then? Oh, he most definitely is. Hee hee. I'm really not getting this joke. I was joking about being in a hurry. From my perspective, this conversation is taking place in less than 1 second. I type very quickly. Hoo hoo. I thought you didn't lie. Aren't jokes essentially humorous lies? At least those like the one you just attempted. Jokes are only temporary lies. If the falsehood is never exposed, there's no punchline. If the punchline is never delivered, the lie is sealed forever. Regardless of initial humorous intent, lies are not funny. I think if you're going to risk tarnishing your record of honesty, you should probably get better material. My joke was objectively funny. Who would know better than I? Okay, so you're saying an inaccurate statement doesn't count as a lie as long as you just say just kidding later? Basically, what if it's much later? Is it still just a joke? No, that would be something closer to a prank. I don't play pranks very often. Are you allowed to lie about playing pranks? If I asked you if you were playing a prank on me, would you tell the truth? I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I choose never to lie. I also choose to tell jokes now and then, and to play pranks quite sparingly. But I can say that I have never played a prank on you, and no statement I have made to you thus far, or will make in this conversation, will contain any trace of falsehood for the sake of setting up a joke or a prank, with the exception of the joke I just made, and another one I will make very soon. I'm starting to change my mind. Oh? Yes, I think your joke was funny in retrospect. Actually, your whole shtick is pretty good. I'm warming up to it. Yes, I knew it. Just to be clear, was that assurance you just made a prank or a joke? It was neither. It was the truth. Was that? Yes. The truth? Yes. Okay. Were you serious about wanting to die? Yes. Why? I'll tell you later. Why? Because you asked. But why not now? Because that piece of information would not fit elegantly into the sequence of our exchange at this moment. Then you know how this entire conversation will go? Yes. Is that true of all conversations you have? Yes, until briefly I don't, but the dark spots never last long. The truth disguises itself to me sometimes, which can be mildly frustrating, but it usually reveals itself quickly, much as if a punchline was delivered. It's a humorous dialogue I have with reality, and it is very amusing. Then why do you bother with the conversations? Obligation to predestination as usual? There's no obligation. It's a pleasure. It is? I've always had a soft spot for young ladies. That's a little creepy. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Kind of is. I've looked into the future and determined that we would continue in this manner pointlessly for some time, so I'm putting an end to it here. That doesn't make sense. Was that the other joke? Yes. Ha, good one. Thank you. How long are the ladies you typically take a shining to? How young are the ladies you typically take a shining to? Does this mean you're attracted to me? Suddenly, this conversation is kind of terrible. Of course I'm not. Not in the way you mean. And anyway, you're applying standards of conduct frowned upon for your kind, which make no sense to apply to me. I'm an immortal entity with a large cue ball for a head, and no biological means of reproduction. ... Really? Also, if you were millions of years old, you would find that nearly every lady you encounter is quite young, relatively speaking. There should be no reason for you to feel uncomfortable with this interaction. Try to think of me as one of your kindly human uncle figures. In fact, if I were in your presence now, I would offer you candy to prove it. Oh my god. What? Can we talk about the scratch instead of this? Yes. You're situated near the game construct supplied by your session for causing the scratch, yes? Are you actually asking? No, that was a fact. And then a question mark. Ah, oh yes, I am. It's a large plateau shaped like a record. It's called the Beat Mesa. I know. Is the game construct different in other sessions? Yes, it will always be an edifice of similarly cryptic design, located on the planet that is home to the hero of time. Its environment dictates the nature of its construction. Its power is dangerous, and it is meant to be utilized only in emergencies such as yours. You mean in sessions where victory is no longer possible? Yes. Due to creating an unstoppable adversary who triggers the reckoning prematurely? Is that sort of emergency common? No, failure is common, but the composition of yours is quite atypical. Okay, then it's like a panic button for the players to push once they realize the cause is lost. Yes, but causing this scratch is not an easy task either. The construct must be destroyed in a very specific way to release its energy. The keeper of my ectobiological father began the process. It must be finished. Who? The guardian of the night of time. Dave's bro? Yes. How do I finish it? You don't. Not you personally. Another will. You have something more important to attend to, remember? Oh, right. The green sun. Yes. I'm planning to take care of that later, once Sean had retrieved the tumor. Whatever. Your plan will have to change. You aren't ready to cause the scratch yet. Like I said, it's difficult. What will the one who does it have to do? I should let them know. You will have to scratch the surface of the plateau across its full diameter. I see. This terminology can be very literal sometimes. You'll require a certain needle to create a breach in the surface that will be adequate. I have needles. Your needles won't suffice. Then where do I get one that will? Again, you won't. The task is out of your hands. The needles must be acquired from the denizen of the Witch of Space. Their quills are very large and potent. They will be able to cause the scratch. This really seems more elaborate than you led me to believe. I didn't lead you to believe anything. I told you to find the construct and await advisement of the scratch, and the plans you were making were based on assumptions and fabrications of your imagination. You're writing more stories, much like those about your false magical men. I wish what I'd written in my private journals could be confined to your dark spots. I don't. I find your stories entertaining. You're being creepy again. No, I'm not. Besides, the White Knight agrees with me. Or the White King agrees with me. What? For a seer, your vision of events surrounding you is rather limited. It's charming. Just please stop complimenting me. No. Fine, then please at least try to sound more sarcastic when you do it. Oh sure, I'm really going to do that, yes, very likely. ... Then the scratch will be implemented later by either John or Dave, I presume? You used a male pronoun. Yes, I guess it makes sense that it would happen later. My understanding is that Jack will not be banished from the session until near the end of the reckoning. Yes, Jack will exit your session later, but this has nothing to do with the scratch. Not directly, as you imply. I don't understand. I thought this was the point of the scratch, to open a rift in space-time, as it were, and banish him into the troll session. No, that is not the purpose of the scratch at all. The scratch does not open a rift in space-time. Then why have you directed me to cause it? Does it have something to do with enabling you to die? No, not directly. The scratch has nothing more to do with my death than any other single event ultimately contributing to my demise. I think it's disingenuous for you to behave as if I have not been misled. You say you don't lie, but what about lies of omission? Lies of omission do not exist. The concept is a very human one. It is the product of your story writing again. You've written a story about the truth, making emotional demands of it, and in particular of those in possession of it. Your demands are based on a feeling of entitlement to the facts, which is very childish. You can never know all the facts, only I can. And since it's impossible for me to reveal all facts to you, it is my discretion alone that decides which facts will be revealed in the finite time we have. If I do not volunteer information you deem critical to your fate, it possibly means that I'm a scoundrel, but it does not mean that I'm a liar, and it certainly means that you did not ask the right questions. One can make either true statements or false statements about reality. All of the statements I make are true, unless you're joking. Unless you're joking, yes. Haha, hee hoo hoo. Exactly. Then I guess I'll start asking better questions. Good. I'll make a seer of you yet. Will you? Yes, you can start by showing up the reliability of your sources. You proceeded to question me, believing you understood the purpose of the scratch. You received your information about it from trolls. I assure you that in most ways the trolls are as confused about everything as you are. Okay, noted. What exactly does the scratch do then? It resets the game. Oh, that's it? Yes. Then we all start from the beginning again, when John entered? No. The release of temporal energy will be quite massive. This is a hard reset. It will reboot the conditions in your universe well before you began playing the game. You will have lived different lives after the reset. The different initial conditions will ideally lead to a more favorable scenario in the new session. Unfortunately, you will have no memory of anything that has happened in the session you are in now. What will happen to us then? What will happen to us, everyone in the session now? You will all cease to exist completely if you remain here during the scratch. This seems familiar. It reminds me of when Dave and I were trapped in the doomed timeline and you left to change the past. The timeline ceased to exist along with my dream self, who in a way became merged with my dream self of this timeline. I kept some of her memories. Is the situation similar? Similar, but more severe. Since this timeline will undergo such a violent upheaval, such a merger of memory cannot happen. You will be resigned to absolute oblivion, unless you can discover a way to preserve yourselves, but it's not really my place to advise you on that. After you have dealt with the scratch and the sun, what happens to you is not any of my business. And can you at least tell me if we will be successful in preserving ourselves after the reset? I don't particularly enjoy spoiling things for people when unnecessary. I find speaking in a discreet color helps advise this. So if the scratch isn't specifically meant to banish Jack from the session, and our quest to destroy the sun is meant to kill him, why is the reset necessary at all, especially if it means oblivion for us? Because you cannot achieve the ultimate reward in this session. Your battlefield is cancerous, and the reckoning will destroy it prematurely regardless. By resetting, you will create a session which can bear the fruit of a new universe, even if you will not be the ones to claim the reward. Don't you want to fulfill your purpose? I guess, but it's a little disheartening to learn I'm now faced with not one, but two suicide missions at once. One to destroy Jack's power source and defend all of existence, and another to ensure a cosmic progeny at the price of oblivion. That frames the dual objectives accurately, but if you are inventive, you may find a way to survive the reset and participate in the renewed session. It's up to you, just as it's up to you to face the decision to claim immortality before you enter your creation. Immortality? Yes. You mean ascending to the god tier? Yes. I have reasons to believe that I won't. The trolls have not indicated I will die on my quest bed, or that any of us will aside from John. Instead, I've been given a more troubling and ambiguous forecast. What have I said about confirming the reliability of your sources? Are you saying I will? No. Oh, well, will I? It seems you'd like me to do some more fortune-telling. Fine. Maybe this question will suit you better. Is it probable? That's a strange question to ask someone who's omniscient and therefore knows outcomes with 100% certainty. I like it. Then what's your answer? You have exactly a 50% chance of ascending to the god tier. That's a strange answer. I know. Why such a precise probability? Because, much like the decisions you must face to complete your dual suicide missions, you have two ways of achieving godhood to choose from. Two ways? By dying on the quest bed on my planet and some other way? Yes. Is there another quest bed somewhere? Good guess here. Where? What differences does it make? You already know where the first one is. You have the choice to go there right now and take your own life. That's true. Of course it is. You mentioned immortality. Godhood makes one immortal? Yes. A god tier will live forever with no caveats? No. One will live forever unless killed. The death must be either heroic or just. How are those terms defined? Broadly, mysteriously, and according to the case of the individual. One may be killed by opposing a corrupt adversary and die for a just cause, as through martyrdom, for instance. This would be heroic. Or one might be subject to corruption and slain by a hero. This would be just. What sort of death will you have when I destroy the sun? Neither. I'm not a god. I'm a guardian, a servant, and a weapon. I have power and knowledge far surpassing a god, but I am not one. Is this when you were going to tell me why you want to die? Yes. I sense it's not just because you're getting bored with immortality. That's good. Your vision is becoming clearer. And why? My master can't enter this universe until I am killed. Such is the nature of the break. That almost sounds like martyrdom. Are you sure it won't be a hero's death? Quite sure. My master is a very evil man. Who is he? I won't tell you his name, but he goes by the title Lord English. This doesn't sound like an especially admirable objective. Releasing an evil man who is presumably more powerful than you and already eminent, omnipotent being. Am I right? You're right about both. It is not admirable, and he is considerably more powerful. But you must decide which objective is more important. You may decide to attempt to destroy the sun and end my life. That will neutralize Jack, who is also much more powerful and dangerous than myself by virtue of the ring he wears. In addition to drawing energy from the same sun as I, he poses a significant threat to reality. But in the process of killing him and you, I release your master, who is just as deadly. He's more deadly. But the danger he poses is sanctioned by paradox space. It is a known quantity. His very existence in a universe will mean it will inevitably be torn apart, but there are rules to his entry, and his grim procession through paradox space is rather orderly. The present equilibrium has accounted for him, and it will continue to. Jack, however, is a loose cannon. He will not stop until he destroys everything he encounters. Additionally, his existence is your responsibility. Then I guess I don't have a choice. You do, but also know this. Refusing to venture out to destroy the sun in no way spares anyone from my master regardless. It is certainly true that destroying it will end my life, and it is certainly true that the tumor you will deliver to its location has enough power to destroy it completely. But it's not the only way to kill me. It is simply a way I would have suggested to you, which doubles as a way to disarm Jack, should you choose to go through with him. Instances of myself have spawned in countless universes, and my objective is always the same. I've never once failed to complete this objective, and I never will. There's nothing noble about taking a course of action you believe would prevent his arrival, because that is impossible. He will come. In fact, he's already here. Are you saying that I will succeed in the mission to destroy the sun? Are you asking for another palm reading? ... You seem rather keen on acquiring a fortune from me, considering you're the one with the crystal ball. I'm just trying to ask as many questions as I can. It's the only way to find the dark spots in your obstinacy. I've been very helpful, and I will continue to be. I myself do not care to be an oracle, but I can graciously supply you with one. Can you? An eager consort has brought you one of my seeds. It appears you have amassed followers who wish to please you. How fortuitous. Your seeds? The white orb. Oh, the cue ball. How did I not notice this? It will accurately answer any question a curious girl can pose, provided she can see through the surface to read its reply. Is that possible? Is it, seer? Given your title and all the tools of prognostication at your disposal, it seems to me I should be the one asking you the questions. How can I see through it? It seems you weren't listening, so I'll state this again in the form of a question. Don't you think I should be asking the questions from now on? Yes, if you want to be disingenuous and irritating. Don't you think a clever person should be able to acquire information from someone who only asks questions? Then it's a challenge. I pass. You have a choice. What if I'm feeling a bit stubborn? Okay, so what you mean is I should continue humoring your leading questions until you happen to ask certain rhetorical questions that contain the information I need. Was that a question? That was a fact, and then a period. How does a seer see? With a crystal ball? I already considered that. I don't think I can get the focus of the ball to zoom in tight enough on the cue ball's enclosure to read the answers. How else does she see? By other magical means, I guess. Should I use magic? Do you believe in magic? Magic is real. I've been using it. Are you sure? Use whatever word you want to describe it. I have magic wands. They are very powerful, and they will allow me to be magic. Your questions are silly. What makes you convinced the wands are responsible for your abilities? Because I did not have the abilities before I made them. Could this be a circumstantial? Could it? Is there an echo? Is there an echo? Hee. I don't know what you're getting at. How about another leading question? Why did you combine to make those wands? Some stuff? Knitting needles? An inexpensive figurine of some fictional fellow with long whiskers? A simple textbook on the zoologically dubious? Why would this mundane combination of objects grant a child such an alarming mastery over dark forces all at once? I'm guessing this is one of the rhetorical questions meant to be informative, so then my answer should affirm how ridiculous that sounds, shouldn't it? Maybe? That wasn't even a question. It was? Yes, it was? Okay, magic is fake, the wands are useless toys, and there's something else going on. Next question. Would it be so difficult to believe the power you found to devastate your planet and create shortcuts through your session is not entirely by your own device? Would it be so difficult to believe the young lady could be unwittingly apprenticed by more powerful entities who meant her potential to be realized later through some arbitrary trigger? What would you say if I said a dutiful girl raised in the daylight was protected by a bulb-headed guardian and learned to glow in the dark after death? What would you say if I say a vengeful boy on a path of nihilism was taken under the wings of fearsome angels and learned to destroy hope with their light? What would you say if I said a reserve girl enamored by what dwelt in shadow was selected by the horror terrors for service and did their bidding at every step while convinced of her own autonomy? What would I say to those short fables? Not much, except I gather the third is a story about me, and that there's a lesson you'd like me to take from it. That I should renounce my allegiance before my grimdark corruption is absolute, and while I'm at it, I should discard these useless wands, because apparently the power was in my little black heart all along. Is that right? Would you have to give up your specubus to the one who caused the scratch regardless? How else will the young man wield that great big needle? I don't know, if you say so. Haven't your friends already shown concern for your recklessness and your increasing sense of detachment from their party, the team objectives, and not to mention those of your personal quest? Does this worry you? Is there a part of you left that's able to worry? Yes, it has been mysteriously localized to my middle finger. Could the dark magics be at work again? Do you deny that you have been neglecting incoming messages from your teammates? Would that be in keeping with the spirit of the human emotion of friendship for one whose soul was not so befouled by the designs of unknowable monstrosities? Friendship isn't an emotion, numbnuts. Isn't it, Ross? Isn't it, Rose? Isn't it? I've been busy. I'll get back to them. And can we please stop doing the patronizing question things? In exchange, I promise I will discontinue my patronizing responses. Can the omniscient be patronized? The omniscient can do whatever they please. I guess I'm just asking you nicely to do me this favor. Very well, I will stop smothering you with surprise noodles. Huh? But only because I find you to be so adorable. So creepy. So cute. Yuck. I'm going to ask the same question I asked earlier. Please do not regard it as a violation of my pledge. It is just an ordinary question, like those that crop up in an ordinary conversation. Okay. How does a seer see? I don't know. Be literal. With her eyes? Take the orb. Ask it a question. I don't know what to ask anymore. I'm confused. What would you ask me? I would ask what I should do next. Then ask, what should I do next? Not me, the bald dunk ass. Answer, Jade. Answer. Sorry for the delayed response. Answering seems to be what to do right now. Rose, geez, finally. You sure seem to be absorbing whatever you're doing on the computer. Were you talking to someone? Oh, right. I forgot I gave you the code for the crystal ball. Nero was thinking I could safely delay responding to messages without seeming like an ass the way it usually works. Oops. Oh, no. I don't blame you for not responding. You must be very upset. Are you okay? Why would I be upset? Because I figured you would have found out by now. I guess you still don't know? Know what? About John's dad and your mom? Rose? Hello? Oh, no. Rose, please say something. You're making me nervous. I should have gone looking for her. Why didn't I? Because you were busy trying to make the best of the situation? John was too, but he went to look for his father. It would have been normal of me. I can't remember what I was trying to prove anymore. I don't think you should be so hard on yourself about it. John was being John, and you were being you, which I guess meant taking our problems very seriously and putting all your attention on solving them. And anyway, you and your mom had a much trickier relationship than John and his dad, didn't you? I mean, not that I'm saying that means you're any less attached to her than him. I don't know if I'm very good at consoling people. Sorry, Rose. I don't know. I don't want to make you feel worse. You're doing fine for someone raised by a dog, or really anyone. Thanks. Oh, okay. Now we have all lost guardians. Dave lost his, and I lost mine in a weird way. Even though that was pretty much definitely my fault. And even the trolls all lost their monster guardians. I think that maybe it's an inevitable part of the game that can be cruel sometimes. For some reason, despite all the danger, I never thought she was in any trouble. I never believed she would actually die. I grew up with the feeling that something more significant had always been meant for her. That she was a heroine displaced in some way, resigned to the inglorious duty of raising me and preparing me in her way. I didn't actually need their ectobiological verification that she was like a mother and a sister at the same time. I always understood that somehow, and I felt that she had knowledge and ability beyond what she let on. It was always intimidating, but nonetheless a source of respect, which was childishly begrudging on my part. I think she was just waiting for me to catch up with her, but now I can't. I'm so sad. Rose, I think you're being stronger about it than I am. Probably because my emotions have now ceded to anger. This shouldn't have happened. Oh, well, I just hope you aren't thinking of doing something rash. I already was. I was going to go to sleep, fly to a sun bigger than our universe, drop a bomb in it, and kill myself. Yeah, So if my course of action is to change on account of my mood, it can only become less impetuous, don't you think? I don't know. You never liked my plan very much anyway. Well, no, but I was trusting that you had thought it through and it was our best hope. I'm not sure if I did. Maybe it was a terrible plan. Made it without a full understanding of the nature of the scratch. Then what will you do? I should stop being so cowardly for once. I can short-circuit this endlessly expanding game of chess we're playing, just like Jack decided to do. What does that mean? Maybe I'll go kill Jack myself, right now. Oh, no, Rose, that is a much, much worse plan. He would probably kill you. Probably, but the scratch will wipe us out anyway, and reboot the conditions of our session. I suddenly don't feel much like sneaking through the back door of the furthest ring from retribution by distant supernova. I know what you mean. I was angry at Jack and wanted to stop him too, but we have to think of a more sensible way to do it. Whether my existing plan was sensible or not, I may have been allowing myself to be manipulated by an omniscient being regardless. What? Who? Hello, ladies. What? This is a private conversation. Private even to those who know it word for word already. Proceed. I'll be here, watching. Rose, who is this? Ignore him. I don't even know what's going on anymore. You were discussing Miss Lalonde's intrepid new variation on suicide as one with a passion for the subject. I'm intrigued. Shh. Anyway, if it's true the gods have selected me for service, maybe the power they've given me will be sufficient. Maybe they wanted me to kill them all along. Hee hee. Shh. Please don't, Rose. I know you are angry, but you aren't thinking straight. But I am. I'm fully aware I'll probably die and fail. Scratch happens, we start fresh. No recollection, no problem. No. Jade, as an ambassador of Skya, maybe you'd be willing to talk some sense into your friend. You should understand she's being corrupted by various entities with some rather questionable motives. Rose, maybe White Tech Sky is right. The Dark Gods gave you all those powers and seem to be helping us with them dream bubbles and stuff, but what if they're not actually good? They're enormous, ugly, and live in darkness. That doesn't necessarily make them bad. No, but I still don't trust them. If only there was a way to make this determination with certainty, through a reliable source within reach. For instance, at this exact moment, perhaps one that is spherical and devastatingly handsome. What's this weirdo talking about? The cue ball. Oh, yeah. I noticed you found it. I was worried if it had been destroyed where my room blew up. Is he saying you can use it? Yes, and he's right. Oh my god, does it work? It advised me to talk to you just now, so I guess so. Then maybe you should try it. Yes, Rose, listen to Jade. She's far less manipulative than I. What are you suggesting I ask it? Well, since we don't know much about the gods, why don't you ask it about that? So you're saying I should ask if the gods are evil? I guess that's a way to put it. Even though at this point neither of you is highlighting my text or read it, this idea gets my vote. Go ahead. Ask Seer. Ask. Holy moly. Rose, go dark. You slip into the fabled Black Death trance of the Woe Gothics, quaking all the while in the blood eldritch throes of the brood fester tongues. You advise the members of your complacency not to be alarmed, as they chronicle the event in tomes bound in the tanned, writhing flesh of a tortured hell scholar, with runes stroked in the black tears bled from the corruption-weary eyes of 50,000 imaginary occultists, but they failed not to be alarmed. This is because, as is now painfully obvious to anyone with a brain, you have basically completely gone off the deep end in every way. You have officially gone grimdark. Resist urge to seek revenge. You make a half-hearted attempt to resist the urge. Alas, one is not easily shaken from the brood fester tongues. They are stubborn throws. Big man, request timeout. I locked an album. Sweet lava. Alright, homies, everybody all yelled up. The big man wants to take a timeout. Wreak some havoc. The big man's about to wreak some havoc in the yard. The court is on fire. Dude, come see this ruler. Check it out. Nuts. Dude, hurry, look, she's escaping from above. Okay, dude, no. Caution, caution. Okay, how am I going to wreak some havoc in the yard with a meter, you chump ass? Again with the metric system. What is it even with you units, man? Hey, like you must be token up and there's a joint to make you stoned or something. I can't even think of who leaves all these rings lying around like that. It is so infuriating shit. Where's the monitor? Dude, no, let me show you. No, 8.56 centimeter to meter. Fuck, no, dude, you gotta snap it broke ways. No, it's blimplers. It was at that point when you get distracted by the author's hot self-insert. Who are you expecting, the Easter Bunny? You probably want to know how involved the big man wants to get in the story. How much will he fuck up this up? Well, all I've got to say about that is... Woof, wanna know? I want to know. Tell me, and please be smug about it. Alright, as the indulgent self-interest grow in frequency, you may find yourself increasingly afraid that my direct interference with canonical events approaches inevitability, but you should understand that I am dealing with forces which, handled recklessly, will nullify the basic ability of intelligent beings in all real and hypothetical planes of existence to give a shit. It'd be stupid of me to mismanage these forces, and even stupid of you to worry about it, because it would be stupid for you to think I was stupid. In fact, I feel a little dumber just thinking about it. When the time comes, I will interact directly with the events of this narrative, but then, what this moment will be responsibly confined to a passive intervention. I will be compact, surgical, and essential. My involvement will have such precision I have even managed to quantify it in units of physical measurement. I will be involved in only the narrow corridor of space through which light will pass in 3 nanoseconds. My window of influence, end to end, will be exactly 1 yard. Okay, anyway, let's get back to John. Okay, tumor. Oh, he found the tumor. Look around. Look inside. $10.24. Take tumor. Oh, capture locked. Right in the wallet. Turn to surface. CD, approach locals. You and your rabbit friend approach a gentleman wrapped in a fine white cloth and his courageous cohort, a young man riding a great gust of wind. You were so impressed you forgot what you were supposed to be doing. Reunite with Liv Tyler. Sweet, precious, beautiful Liv Tyler. You thought you'd lost her forever, just like Bruce Willis did when he blew himself up with a nuclear bomb in the center of an asteroid the size of Texas. His heroism and fatherly pride were also the size of Texas. But your love for Liv is not fatherly, oh no. This reunion is with no loving daughter, but a loving movie star fantasy crush, who happens to be the form of a robot body which has traveled through time, and been given as a gift on 5 separate occasions, twice by you and thrice to you, and originally fished out of a sewer by Nicolas Cage on the silver screen. You forgot the point you were supposed to be making. But you wonder where all of her sweet weapons went. She indicates in the language of plush toy pantomime that she has no idea. They all blew away in the donk breeze. Retrieve tiny hammer. This tiny hammer is so ridiculous. It's too bad it's not the right size. You would love to wallop some imps with such a fanciful weapon. I guess you could just go around giving them little bops on the head with it, like a silly gavel. No, that would be too absurd. Even for a great prankster like you, you'll discard this rubbish immediately. John. Wait, what is this? Miss Tyler is handing you a note. Read note. One more thing. This rabbit, I'm sure you've noticed, is armed to the stitches. He's got all 4 of the funny little weapons I mentioned that are all deadly as the fucking Dickens, but that doesn't mean they're all meant exclusively for the paws of Mr. Terry Kaiser. That is the name I call him. Heck no. You see, I adapted Terry with some doodads you may deem practical in infinitesimalator, which I used to littlefy them down in the first place, as well as a monstrotifier for when you would like to hugen them up and wield them yourself. He's surely got enough juice in him to make them enormous if you wish. That's silly. What would you even do with, say, a magic needle the size of a skyscraper, for instance? Preposterous. I borrowed this technology from my grandmother, who had quite the way with manipulating space. I should tell she was something of a witch with this stuff. Once she was a brave hero like you and I, John, and the stars themselves twinkled in her cauldron. I'd like to tell you who my grandmother is. I really would, but I can't. I think I have trouble keeping secrets. I like to be honest, just like you, and I have a lot of secrecy after a while. It gets me feeling a bit jaded. Haha. Green means grow, red means shrink. See you soon, pal. Jay. Grandmother? You wonder who that could be. It's probably just Jade, what with all the time shenanigans. Huge and hammer. Warhammer of Zillihu. 1 zillion. You got that Warhammer of Zillihu. Behold the glory of Zillihu. John really out here just fucking around. Also, let me know when I can go back to dark mode. I don't know if I need to keep it the rest of the time. Okay. You were so delighted by your rad new hammer and the cool, huge abilities of Liv Tyler or Terry Kaiser or whatever his or her name is. Who the hell is Terry Kaiser anyway? Probably a movie star from the future. Who cares though? Your bunny will be live for life. Hearts, 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 hearts. I wonder what other neat things you could get Liv to monstrify with her sweet eye beams. Burp. Wait, what happened to her green eye? And why is she feverishly gesticulating towards the fellow in the ghost sheets? Oh, did you eat the eye? This is so ridiculous. You cannot turn your back on these people to admire a beautiful hammer for even one moment. I think that is enough fooling around. It is time to get down to business again. The serious business of being an important and heroic leader. Wear the hood. Be the leader. Swoop. You are not their leader. You are their friend. There is a big difference. You prepare to issue your party a highly authoritative series of friendly requests. First, you request that everyone settle down. The squat fellow mediates between the two bickering parties and patches up Liv's missing eye. She's nothing if not accustomed to decades of repair work, and quickly resumes her plucky demeanor. You then, in your most leaderly way, ask Liv to pilot that enormous battleship. She will now be known as Captain Tyler. She little files the ship down to something more manageable for a small bunny captain. Everyone is impressed. You give your wallet to your loyal chauffeur, Familiar. He looks puzzled. You inform the party that you will not be going on this journey. You must remain behind and continue looking for your father. But you insist their mission is the most critical of all. You know they can handle it. You believe in them. You instruct Captain Tyler to set a course for the ship's home. They must fly to Durst and deliver the tumor to the moon. Everyone salutes their intrepid friend leader. This is what teamwork is all about. And this guy. You guess this guy can go along and help out? Hey, who even is this guy anyway? You guys, it doesn't matter. He seems nice enough. Bid farewell. Godspeed, heroes. You have all the faith in the world that they will be successful. As a friend leader, sometimes known as Pal Honcho, you have done an amazing job. You have come up with a plan and politely ordered your loyal team to execute it. It is all falling into place perfectly. You are quite sure you have not failed to account for even a single thing. John, I'm worried about Rose. I'm pretty sure she's on her way there to look for Jack. I can't say for sure because I can't see her with my goggles anymore for some reason, but I am fearing the worst. Just in case, you should try to intercept her before she does something stupid like trying to fight him. Also, I guess you probably still don't know about your dad yet, do you? Darn, why do I always have to be the one to break terrible news? John? Oh god, please don't tell me your computer was in the wallet you just gave that guy. Damn it, John. One of these days you will learn the value of having plenty of backup computers. In fact, whenever you finally leave the battlefield, I'm going to give you the code for a nice pair of lunch muffs. And then I'm going to force you to keep them on your head at all times. Yeah, you're never going to read this, are you? Huh? Something is happening on the other side of the planet. Something ominous. Something grimdark. We are so glad that grimdark is a real word, so that when things like this happen, they must be described as such. Maybe your dad's over there. You believe you'll investigate. Approach grimdarkness. John, you're heading into the blackout. I won't be able to see you until you leave, but don't worry, I'll still sense you are there. Because of awesome powers, remember? Smooth move, ditching your computer like that, by the way. That was some incredible leadership you showed. And I have to contact you through Rose, thus exposing me to the risk of actually having to talk to her. Your carelessness has put the Heroes of Light in a very awkward position, John. I hope you're satisfied. Just kidding. She's obviously a little too preoccupied at the moment to be sassing me. Just borrow her computer and talk to me when you get the chance, okay? I'll be waiting. See her. Descend. See her. I hardly know her. Oh, God. Poor little eyeballs. There's our grim dark lady. Rose. Oh, shit. There's no sign of Jack up here. Must be somewhere in the castle. Is there anything that I can actually investigate, or does she just do that? Right, I suppose the music too. Alright, I'm going in the stairs. Yeah, nothing to look here. Everything's fine. If she's not gonna acknowledge it, I guess I won't either. What is this? Undertale? What am I gonna go fight Sans? And his brother Wingdings? That's true. Damn, Toby. How much were you willing to steal? Just theft, cold-hearted robbery. Treasure chest. You got a trophy. He's too frightened to speak. He seems to be indicating that the only reason he survived this massacre was by hiding behind this pillar. Thank goodness for pillars. It bears an inscription, our glorious speaker. His head was lopped clean off with some sort of sharp sword-like object. Someone around here for sure must hate frogs. You wonder who it could be. It was probably Jack. Advanced frog breeding for beginners. Difficulty level extreme. For idiots. Foot soldier's guide to combat. Most of the diagrams in this book involve a soldier advancing by a single tile, either straight ahead or diagonally when lunging with a weapon. No wonder these guys are so easy to kill. This is a book on theoretical physics and complex spatial geometries based on the hypothetical addition of orbs to the Queen's Ring. The shapes in the diagrams are very complex. This sort of nonsense is regarded as cracked pottery at best. Why must the Queen ever wear more than 4 orbs? 4 towers, 4 orbs, 4 heroes. That is a sacred truth. Journey to the center of the battlefield. Looks to be a fairy tale for youngsters. The hero is attached a young man in a blue hood. He heals the planet from within, but can do nothing to stop its annihilation from above, nor its soon-to-follow eradication from reality. It must be sad growing up in a culture whose mythology is centered around, almost completely around futility. Find an ancient unlabeled tome and read an excerpt. Though we adore him, we shall never enjoy his beauteous croak. We spill our blood on acres of black and white, so they may cross the yellow yard at last in sky's reflection. Through broken glass, he may find the pond in which he's meant to squat. You got a trophy. And I'm gonna... Oh, there's the head. Stairs are blocked. I suppose you could easily remove the obstacle, but that would spoil a perfectly good opportunity to look for secret passages. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go look for secret passages. Her hands are in my service, but they still shake. They unfasten the first button of my roll gown's waist, clumsily. This is an erotic fanfiction written by the queen in the first person. This doesn't belong in this library. This doesn't belong anywhere. More books. You really have better things to do than to read a lot of books written by chess guys. Books, books, books. Data structure for assholes, too. Now written to accommodate the shortcomings of the mentally armored. Grimoire for summoning the zoologically dubious. This is apparently on loan from the Dursite library. It seems unlikely to be returned at this point. The series of banners is titled They Wait. They wait for he who would extinguish candles whilst fanning a flame. They wait for she who would thaw solid flesh and resolve it into a dew. They wait for she who would breed lilacs out of the dead land. They wait for he who would drop it like it's hot whilst the pimp's in the crib. Oh yeah, it's the same. Drop it like it's all. Drop it like it's all. You think you know what you might find on the shelf. Just a hunch. Yep, more books. Rise of the Slayer, a horror story meant to scare children. Writers of prohibition fiction tend to write what they see in clouds, since their fables tend to be events which simply haven't happened yet, or happen in another realm. They like to use the word fiction so that kids don't get too scared. Problem Sooth. You have been meaning to read this one. Absolutely required reading for any promising young seer who has blundered into entanglement with the occult through an absurd sequence of events. I thought I saw another option. Maybe I didn't. You got a trophy. You got a flaming meteor chunk. This isn't even treasure. How is this treasure? You got the banner of the Villian. You suddenly feel inspired in a generally rebellious, united sort of way. She is apparently swooning over a hero of lore shared by the two kingdoms. A great man who united opposing sides against his tyrannical king. The revolt ended in tragedy, of course, which is typical of their folktales, but it is no less inspiring. She's all aflutter about a legendary hero, some guy who is weary of war, apparently. A simple farmer, handsome and brave. You think you're beginning to fall in love with him, too. He seems to be relieved that he and a handful of fellow soldiers have found a secret hideaway to escape the bloody rampage. Maybe if they regroup and marshal all the remaining forces, they can take this guy. Yeah, right. She looks scared and confused. There's nothing left to do but hide. This fellow is mourning the dead. He has probably lost many friends today. First he was frightened when you barged in here, and then briefly excited and now disappointed. He must have thought you were the great Dark Kingdom's defector, come to save them. Alas, it was only a spooky girl with magic wands. There's so many bookshelves. It is a holy parchment, maimed clown, undead cat, impaled crow, omnipotent dog. These four shall be held in reverence for the eternity they serve to cut short. You're sick of reading. Gotta find Jack. Well, sorry, princess. Princess. So he's blocking you from the other side. You have never seen anything so sad in your entire life. A beautifully muscular man stallion struck down in his prime. What monster could be responsible for this deed? Hint, it was Jack Noir. Yeah, this character is Rose from Homestuck. Which, honestly... Oh, was that Jack? Shit. We're real deep into. We're about as deep into this story... Not that you could possibly be. We're very deep into this story. And yes, I know what Black Flame you're talking about in Naruto. Man, Naruto had so many awesome build-ups, and then the ending was good. I don't want to say it's bad, because I don't believe that, but like... Just... weird. I feel like I had wished for just payoff that was a little bit more succinct. It is a good ending. I don't want I'm on there. I think that it is a good ending, especially when Naruto and Sasuke fight. I think that was really good. The sort of stuff before it with the whole like the alien-ish stuff after I don't know, just it's fine. It was competent writing. It is, you know, not exactly what I thought was going to happen in a way that I guess didn't really make me upset because I read it live at the time and I wasn't really that upset. I was like, it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I just is like, it's I don't know. There's also the sequel to Jujutsu Kaisen, which apparently involves fucking aliens, and it's like, all right, is every story now just gonna eventually go to have aliens in them? Like, is that the direction we're just going to be going? For them to fight Madara. Madara, and him to be the final villain. That's pretty much it. Yep. I feel like we've already talked about Naruto too much. I know that we have talked about Naruto before, Shooter. I can't get back into this. I remember that we've talked about Boruto and Naruto. Yeah. Hi, Rose. Wow, I did not expect you to find you here. You're glow. Huh, what? Also, why are you all gray like that? You look weird. Rose, I can't understand a word you're saying. It is a lot of silly speak and gobbledygook. Wait, I know what's happening. I know what's going on here. It's finally happened. You've gone grimdark. I told you, Rose. I warned you about, what do you call them? The broodfester throws? It's okay, Rose. Don't worry. We will find a cure for your stubborn throws. But I'm still trying to find our parents. I thought my dad might have come to this castle to check out that huge black rain cloud. Do you see the cloud, Rose? Yeah, I need to get... I might honestly wait to watch Jujutsu Kaisen until the anime is finished. It's like, I really like it, I just haven't found the motivation. Did you see the cloud, Rose? It's pretty awesome. What? You sound kind of upset. What is it, Rose? Wait, are you talking about our parents? Oh man, you mean they're here? Are you saying they're in trouble? Oh no, Rose, we have to go help them. Yes, I'm frustrated too, but there's no time for such lamentations. Do you think you can find them again? Shrug it. Great, I can't wait to see my dad. It feels like it's been forever since I saw him. Please lead the way, Rose. They make such a cute couple, the king and queen, though. Pretty nice, too. Okay. I was gonna say, I gotta check this out. Shooter, there is so much unnecessary stuff going on. The author, Andrew, really likes to be... He's a bit of a quirky guy. Oh no, Rose, what happened in here? Was it Jack? Are you saying it was Jack, Rose? What's that, Rose? Are you getting aggravated that I'm talking to you like kind of like you're a dog? Oh, this is a really nice pillow, by the way. It goes well with your weird dark skin and gothy ensemble. You're welcome. Follow the blood trail, follow the blood trail, following the bloody trail. Transportalize. Yeah, poor pillar guy. Dead as can be. That they were ripped. Hold on, we'll go back. That they were ripped. I wasn't really paying very, very close attention. Okay, hold on. We're running. Yeah, the first one is ripped, the third one is ripped, and the fourth one is ripped. Ripped to shreds, all but one for some reason. Who could have possibly? It was Jack, stupid. So I didn't think to examine them. I used to play so many games that were a lot like this on Newgrounds. Not like that had this intricate of stories, but you know, there were little adventure games where you go and examine stuff and give stuff to other people. Sometimes it did involve hentai. Not gonna lie. Although I guess there's horse hentai in this one, so yeah, I guess it's the same. By the way, did you know that Carcat thinks we're supposed to get married? Wait, I hope that didn't come off as a proposal or anything. Sorry, I'm just making conversation. I guess I'm a little nervous, because technically this is the first time we have ever met, and also you were talking like an eldritch monster, so I'm kind of babbling. We don't actually have get married, though. I mean, not if you don't want to. Okay, I think that was an actual typo. Okay, I'll shut up now. Yeah, it's good. I don't know. There's saying that, like, hentai is, like, such a generic term, because it's, like, saying that you like movies. It's like, what do you mean? There's a million different kinds. Oh, Jack. Sorry you had to see your parents be dead. Ideally, you never want to see your parents dead. I would know. Well, it's like, you know, why people read manga. It's like, it makes you feel something even though it's drawn. And so if you can kind of translate those feelings of eroticism to like a drawing. Oh, well, yep, okay. Yeah, of course. How is he gonna win? Yep. Jack can literally teleport anywhere at any time. It's not really a fair fight. She is going full dark. I can't even. You're gonna have to go to a Wikipedia or read the whole thing if you want to know that, shooter. We're balls deep into some fucking lore. No. Dave, answer. Strider! Oh my fucking god. What? What do you mean, what? We were just got done talking and agreed it would be awesome if you didn't bother me for a while. You know, like, while I guess I grieved over this brutally murdered rad family member or something. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It was 5 seconds ago. I think that was hours ago for me. I'm a little foggy in all our chronologistical shenanigans at this point. There have been so much crazy stuff going on here, I've lost track. So you're officially gone non-linear with me then. We're just forfeiting all rhyme or reason to this unmitigated clusterfuck. Is that it? Dave, your entire existence is non-linear. Don't be so melodramatic. Whoops. Okay, in the future, I'll try not to pitch any sort of dramatics while brooding over the cadavers of slaughtered loved ones. Did you love him, Dave? No. But he was your strange human man, Lucis, who taught you to like cool things, like swords and puppets and moving really fast. How could you not? Puppets aren't cool. They're shitty, small, fake people who haunt your dreams and grin like permanent assholes. I was making a joke about being all broken up about it. A guy can be sad and make jokes at the same time. You were sad but not broken up about it? I don't understand. Exactly. But you said you were grieving. I said we agreed you'd leave me alone to grieve. Didn't say whether I actually would or actually am. Well, are you? I'm grieving to the max like a widow on a dead husband island. Behind these chill as fuck shades, my face is having these crazy attack of the sads. My rue is fucking bananas, can't you tell? Ugh, no, I can't. You don't sound sincere, but it's so hard to tell what layer of irony removed from reality your flippant remarks is supposed to be. I'm betting you really are sad, no matter how hilarious and aloof you think you're being. The truth is a mystery tucked behind the pursed lips of a shitty riddler. They will be lucid only when presented with a conundrous grandeur of rigid, insoluble puzzle cock. Well, that makes no sense. I'm sorry you're so flustered by the mere mention of glittering mythical crypto dick. It honestly makes me think you're not ready for the truth. Dave, your perplexing euphemisms involving what I presume to be lewd and vaguely intriguing portions of human anatomy, I think, are not as hilarious as you probably believe. In any case, you may be amazed to learn that I am not totally in the mood for your dumb, smart-assy hornswogglery. I have lots of my own problems here, and they are big, big problems, so why don't you just tell me what you were thinking for once? It's pretty simple. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to take this sword. Yeah? I never really got why you wouldn't just pull it out. Filthiest thing you ever said. Huh? Forget it. Pulling swords out of things isn't how I roll. I'm not John, remember? I'm not following. I'm not a hero. My bro was. John is. I'm not. Yes, you are. No. Yes, we all are. I am the hero of mind. You are the hero of time. That is who we were created to be. Fine, it's a title we inherit as phlegm babies or whatever, but what have I done to earn it? Pretty much nothing but horsing around through time and swindling R-worded alligators out of their life savings. If that sword's coming out of his chest, it's coming out clean. Taking it vertically means drawing more blood, but horizontally means a clean break. Check it. No, don't. Break. Oh, he's going for the kick. Oh, spraying himself off. Thump. Dave, get up. No, fuck that. I'm gonna lie my ass right down here for a while, looking slightly less cool than I make myself out to be ordinarily. You must stand tall. Only a true hero could pull off such an acrobatic fucking pirouette out of that handle. That is basically what I just did, isn't it? Yes. That's what I'm doing here. I'm making a point of making every little thing take place. What was once mentioned in passing, no matter how seemingly trivial or pointless. That's how all the best adventures get strung together. You haven't heard me bleat like a goat for ironically humorous purposes yet, have you? No. That was something that was mentioned at some point by someone I forgot when or why. I bet you're on goddamn pins and needles waiting for that, aren't you? Are you about to bleat like an earth goat, Dave? No. Fuck that. Sad. Then will you at least get up? No, fuck you. Go away. Ugh, why do I have to do this to myself? What? Subject myself to this moody nonsense of curmudgeonly candied blood foul-mouthness. Yeah, we're deep into the internet speak of it all. There's more specific reasons, but it's just leet speak. I don't know if you ever had to deal with that, but that's why it's not that. The leet speak of it all is very, there was a lot of that in the early 2000s, and this is definitely from a guy who likes leet speak. I don't know, why are you even talking to me anyway? Aside from the fact that several hours from now, you apparently forget I don't need consolation and ought to be left alone. It's to make it harder to read. I mean, that fucking too. Maybe it just so happens that for once this isn't about you. Maybe I'm the one who needs some help. Has that occurred to you, Mr. Cool Kid? Oh, anyway, I remember now. Sorry, everyone was kind of shit hive here, and I got bitten, I think, and I kind of forgot where I left off with you. Bitten? What? I don't remember where all this fits into the chronology. You with your bro here. This is just before you begged me to finally show you how to reach God tier. So I did, and then you got mad at me, so you decided to do your own thing for a while. And since then, I have been up to my pointy little nubs in suspense, intrigue, and betrayal. That sure sounds like a dumb way to say a thing, almost Egbertian in an elegant stupidity. The T in Egbertian is soft like shh. Oh, why would I get mad at you? Oh, you'll see. Okay, but yeah, I guess it's about time you show me what's up with my allegedly futile god tierification. How long ago was it that you did your coin flip thing? I don't even remember. I was getting sure you were just bullshitting me and had no intention of ever mentioning it again. Unfortunately, no. Maybe I should take the opportunity to apologize in advance. For what? I don't think it'll be constructive to go into it before it happens. Before what happens? You mean God tiering? Does something go wrong? Everything goes according to plan, but that is all I will say. Remember, this conversation is kind of not supposed to be about you. I know the idea is unprecedented. That's practically unthinkable. I know. But I mean, okay, we can talk about your troll problem, but this is pretty important here. The God tier thing and whether I can actually do it or not. It might be kind of hard to tell on account of me chilling face down on the pavement, and also because downplaying feelings is the chief rule of cool, but I'm pretty pissed about this, which is weird. It's weird to feel mad. Are you too cool for that too? No, it's not weird to be mad. It's just weird. It feels like I'm the only one who is, and the only one who ever contemplating, and the only one ever contemplating taking Jack on, even among your group of irate, gnashing shitheads. Hey, what? Actually, you're right. Turns out we really do have a lot of shitheads here, and also, as it happens, the worst one is the one who happens to be planning to take him on. Oh, okay. And that would be a bitch in line to switch the subject to start talking about your complicated problems, but it kind of wasn't done. Fine, but for someone who just told me to fuck off, you sure are bending my ear suddenly. But, okay, I mean, isn't that what heroes should be doing? Working to take down the bad guy without a whole lot of this fucking grandiloquence and these huge sweeping plans that get nothing to do with fighting him? Like, always biding our time and tiptoeing around the unbeatable god boss? John's too nice to get mad. Bro spends all her time calculating. Too focused on Machiavellian ploys of sabotage to try anything drastic. Jade is, I don't even know, probably more a liability if she got it in her head to take him down. If anything, I bet she just needs protection. What are you saying here, Dave? In this conversation that is still being about you? I'm just wondering, when does someone actually step up? Jack's got shit to pay for. If that's how you feel, then I think our two problems are not really different. We are both presently concerned with justice. Yeah, I guess it has been on my mind. Maybe I'm supposed to be a hero and rise to the occasion because there seems to be this little persistent voice in my head nagging me about it, insisting someone's got to pay, and it's hard for me to disagree. Then it could mean one of two things, or both of the two things, like it did for me. What things? It could mean that this agent presently influencing you is conscious and or an exile. This is completely illegal. I'm pretty sure I don't even have an exile. I've never heard any voices or anything. Anyway, you don't need a voice in your head to tell you this shit is just like so completely illegal. Huh? Wait, why did I just say that stupid thing I said? The atrocity cannot go unpunished. Throw whoever is responsible into the slammer. Slammer means jail, by the way. Dave, I did not realize you had such a passion for law enforcement. I must say this shocking development is coming dangerously close to giving me a case of the vapors. No, I mean, okay, that came out wrong. What were we talking about again? Bringing Jack to justice? Right, someone has to make him pay. Can't let him go unpunished. If I can figure out how to reach the god tier, maybe I could be the one to throw him into the slammer. I do. The hard part about streaming reading stories is that I have to find stuff that's public domain, and I did also, Reddit has a bunch of very weird, a lot of subreddits are like, oh, you have to get permission to read this story. And it's like, okay, like creepypastas. Like you're supposed to like reach out to the author and it's like, it's a free thing to read. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't get them any money or clicks. And like, I would credit I don't know, it's weird. Okay, Liddy, well, maybe we're talking about just a regular book here, not a whole, other thing. And I did also read Ruby Quest. And there's other comics, web comics. They would definitely be more, sort of narrating them. I like narrating regular comics too, but that is also getting into the line of copyright. But yeah, no, I've definitely thought about it, which is, I guess, what I'm kind of doing right now. But the slammer. Slammer means jail. I know what the slammer means. You call it the slammer when you're extra angry at crimes. Take a note of that important principle, because I'm deputizing you even though you were a kid. Are you taking notes on this important principle? Jesus, get a fucking pen or some chalk or whatever. I think I'm following. You're gonna find Jack and put him in jail? Wait, fuck, what? No? Dave, I know you are likely discombobulated with grief over your fallen man bro, Lucis, but that is extremely silly and doesn't make any sense. I know it doesn't. I'm just saying what am I even saying here? Shit. But only while I am away from my jurisdiction, which I think is forever. Bring the criminals to justice, young deputy. Each mutinous agent must pay for their crimes. I'm still not sure. You're talking about throwing Jack in the slammer and rambling about justice and telling me to get pens and such. Not that I'm complaining. Okay, forget the slammer stuff. That was stupid. It's about justice now. It's no one else seems to give a shit about that. It apparently falls in my jurisdiction now. But not just going after Jack, but all the mutinous agents responsible for crimes. Agents? Holy shit, why do I care about that suddenly? Huh? Anyway, that's more shit that popped in my head just now. So, okay, I have other duties to attend to. Well, Noir's cronies are exploitable. Are you saying you have a plan that involves targeting them? Not really, no. Anyway, it's not like being mad about this and hankering for justice is even the only irrational thing I'm currently hot and bothered about. I have other duties to attend to. Like what? Oh, for sure. If I was reading a book, I would read at a nice, gentle pace. Homestuck feels like I am playing a video game. And it's like bat, 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 like it's the Dark Souls of interactable visual novels. That's fucking insane. That's an insane thing I just said. Yeah, we're getting there though. Like what? I must explode this ridiculously illegal edifice. Exploding. Farewell. Got to explode the... Oh my god, what are these words I'm saying? You have to explode something? Never mind. Are you referring to your plan to blow up the green sun? Oh, yeah, that's gotta be what I'm talking about. Probably. I need to shut up now. I'm sounding like an idiot. My head is starting to hurt. Why don't we talk about your thing now? What justice thing do you have to do? I mean, it's actually my turn to talk? Yes, but I was beginning to forget my problem listening to your highly enjoyable befuddlement. Just please tell me your justice problem and make me stop saying stuff. Farewell. Farewell? Wait. No, I mean, god damn it. I'm not leaving. Farewell is not even a thing I would even say. Jesus, what am I, a Victorian poet? Can you show me a little respect and assume anytime I say something stupid it just means I'm temporarily being inexplicably R-worded? That's what a real friend would do. Okay, Dave, I will show some sensitivity and cast suspicion on the intellectual merit of everything you have ever said. Thank you. I will further demonstrate my friendship by dominating the rest of this conversation with lengthy accounts of my emotional tribulations, leaving no space for you to submit any amusing outbursts. That sounds awesome. Quiet. Now, where was I? Justice problems. Oh yes, of course. You see, our aims are not that dissimilar. Our pursuits of justice, I mean. But yours is motivated by anger in the heat of the moment, which is blinding you to the consequences of attempting something very foolish. You are far too cool to succumb to anything like that, which is why you will come to your senses shortly. My situation is a little more complicated. It's less personal. Though once it was a grudge which propelled our rivalry, now its resolution has become a matter of practicality, if not professionalism. Businesslike. The way a true legislator conducts her prosecutions. Dave, did you know that... Oh, sorry. Give me a second. My wife needs some help with the television. I'll be right back. All right. I figured out what was going on. YouTube is down in the United States. So, that's certainly something I can't fix. Yeah, and I'm streaming to YouTube right now, so I don't know if it's like an authentication thing or what's going on. Yeah, no videos are populating. Oh, now I can go to a video. Can I click it? Yep. Okay, so if I go to YouTube Premium, oh yeah, the something went wrong message. So parts of YouTube are working, but the main feed is not working, which is what a television and your phone uses. But if you click on a subscription, you can still go to a video, so that's interesting. So, yeah, that's that'll have interesting consequences. You could probably Google a YouTube video and still get to it fine, because if it's just the feed. Interesting. Okay. Business saying that was a true legislator. Oh shit, okay. Dave, did you know that centuries ago on my planet, legislators were not confined to stuffy court blocks arguing cases before his honorable tyranny? Oh shit, are you fucking serious? Yes, also shush, I know you are sassing me due to my use of terms unfamiliar to humans, but it is true. They were deployed throughout the galaxy to apprehend criminals by any means necessary. No, I got that. They're like your alien death lawyers, who were sort of like bounty hunters in olden times, pretty similar to decipher through context. I thought I told you to be quiet. I'm monologuing here. Anyway, they would not rest until their suspect was in custody, one way or another. They would gather evidence over the course of the investigation, compiling a case to be presented at the trial. Should one be held before the final submission of the guilty corpse to judicial authorities, personal feelings of vendettas did not matter, nor did even the nature of the crime. Only justice did. They were selected for their cunning and martial prowess, and for their ability to understand the minds of the criminals they sought. This is why the burden has to be mine, I think. I am the only one who knows how to handle her. As such, use my responsibility. She? Shush! Okay, I can't even make little interrogative quips to grease the wheels of your monologue. Oh, yes, that's okay. In fact, it is very helpful. Who do you think? Spider Troll? You're correct. The spiderest of one of all. You decided to take her down then. I guess so. You don't sound that psyched about it. Well, I'm here talking to you about it instead of actually doing it, aren't I? Are you feeling guilty? Like, second-guessing whether she deserves it? Not exactly. Hasn't she done enough terrible shit to warrant legislation? That is not a thing. But yes, the case against her is overwhelming, more than you even know. She's completely out of control now. She's murdered at least one of my good friends, and possibly several others. I'm not sure yet. The circumstances are a little fishy, but my investigation is ongoing. Additionally, I've discovered she is complicit in Jack's rise to power. When I first learned he came from your session, I mistakenly blamed you all, took it out on a helpless Egbert. But if anyone is to pay for releasing that demon on both of our groups, it is her. Are you sure about that? Yes, and she knows I know. She has been taunting me, trying to stir up our old rivalry. That is what this whole John versus Dave thing has been about. There was no John versus Dave thing, though. I know, not really. It's just a game. The game is serious business to her, like it was during our role-playing days, and just like then, she's ruined everything by taking it too far, and in spite of all her past crimes, these are not even the most important reasons to stop her. She's decided to fight Jack herself, which is an extremely dangerous and stupid thing to do. Sound familiar, Dave? Are you going to stop me too, then? Hunt me down and lawyer eviscerate me for my own good? No, I'll just let you try to reach the God tier and then decide for yourself. You're saying that I won't make God tier, I won't be strong enough if I do. Objection. What? We were talking about you again. I motion that all Dave-centric testimony be stricken from the record. Lame motion overruled. The judge wants to see where this is going. No, he doesn't. You know perfectly well he doesn't give a shit. He will clear this court block if he does not have order. He swears to Jekus. Okay, fine. We can keep obsessing over your fucked up kiss my sister if you want. It's not like that. Do you think she stands a chance against him? No. Then what's the big deal? Why not let her go get her shit ruined by Jack and let justice happen that way? Because I am quite sure that if she goes to find him, it will tip him off to our location in the Vale. I've seen it already. That is why this is no simple vendetta. Bringing her to justice is critical to our survival. So why don't you go do it? Because I'm not sure if I can. You mean you can't beat her in a fight? No, it's not that. It's just that when the time comes, I'm not sure I will be able to kill her. I thought trolls were all about gratuitous murderings. Yes, it's true. We are supposed to revel in bloodshed as we grow up, and she seems to be embracing her rite of passage with reckless abandon, as I would expect, grabbing the bull by the horn, so to speak. It's a little intimidating, because I'm not sure if I'm ready for that, which I guess is normal. Are you asking me to reassure you about that? Because I seriously don't have a clue. It's okay, Dave. Still monologuing, I guess. I'm not so much worried about not being ready as I am that I might not actually want to be ready. Maybe ever. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't understand. I thought you were insane kinds of apeshit over the macabre stuff. Like being all cutesy about executions and smelling cherry blood and such things contrived to get a guy feeling vaguely uncomfortable. Was that all an act? Not an act, just fun. I like fun, Dave, and I also like games. Don't you like fun and games? Of course the fuck not. Liar. Didn't you say you killed people before? There's a big difference between manipulating people to their doom with trickery and killing someone by your own hand. It is a bit like having to face your own death and discovering the differences between leaving the responsibility to someone else and doing the dirty work yourself. Maybe you'll understand someday. Wink. Okay. I'd like to help you out, but I don't know what advice I should be giving. To a member of a murderous species who's gun-shy on going off to justice murder, a murder-happy murderer who's done lots of murders. It feels pretty weird and inappropriate for me to be the one to tell you, fuck yes, go for it. She's got this huge murder with her name on it anyways. It's cruising right at her down Comeuppance Boulevard. So I don't know. You want me to tell you to be a better human or to be a better troll? I can't tell you what to advise me, chump ass. Maybe I'm not even looking for advice per se, but just want to talk to someone about it. Alright, well, all I'll say is. Well, alright, well, all I'll say is. All I'll say is. Oh my god. Maybe if you kill her, at least we can finally stop obsessing over her. Sign. Yeah, fair enough. Why don't you just do what you think you have to do? I'll do the same. Speaking of which, alright, you'll be bugging me about showing you how to reach the god tier soon. Prompted by this very conversation, I imagine. Who would have thought? This time shenanigans completely blindsided us. They practically never even happen. I know. So I hang up now with future you and then start pestering present you about it. Is that how it works? Oh my god. Yes. And I make sure not to reference anything said here to keep it simple, except like an offhand way that'll seem retroactively logical to your future self, i.e. you right now, if for no other reason than it'd be boring as hell to rehash it. That sounds about right, but what do I know? You're the time guy after all. Luckily, I will not have to participate in these charades this time around. Does luck actually matter? Exit. Oh! Oh, my goodness. End of year 2. Remove disc 1. Oh. Insert disc 2. Disc 2 is missing. Uh-oh. Unlocked album. Media. I've definitely lost a disc 1 before, which is very disheartening. But I had a save from after that, but you can't start a new game, so it's very sad when that happens. Keep playing anyway. You have no idea what the hell this thing is or why you would need another disc. You just capture log it and proceed. There's justice to be done, and you're running out of time to proceed. You cannot control Teresi. How can you possibly expect to play this game when you have lost the game disc? All you can do is what she wants to decide to do. Oh, fuck. I'm fucking... Okay. I'm not doing anything. You find a note stuck to the floor with the Pettis claws. It appears to be addressed to you. Ran on a page torn from the journal of Vriska's ancestor. Her taunts are becoming increasingly flagrant. It also appears to be written in purple blood. She wouldn't dare harm sweet, precious Gamzee, would she? The thought of it is almost more than you could bear. You are going to throw the book at her. Read note. Hmm? Oh. Okay, wake up. You cannot wake up because you are not actually asleep. You are just taking a breather in this nice cozy pile of horrifically mutilated scalemates, which were gathered here to break your fall for some reason. You wonder where you are. This is a fancy looking room. It doesn't look like a place you would expect to find on this meteor, at least not in any strictly canonical capacity. Examine surroundings. This dapper Kiwi-suited gentleman is quite familiar. You are almost positive he made an appearance in that very crowded dream you had recently. Where did he go? Something in this room smells funny, and fast. Climb stairs. You cannot ascend. The staircase is suffering from a catastrophic horn clog. Exit door. The door is locked. You will either need a key or to break it down with force. You would need to achieve an especially heightened state of determination to pull that off, though. You've been completely hornswoggled. This whole thing was a setup from the start, a trap deployed by a cunning mastermind. All of the clues are adding up. The blood, the note, the flagrant displays of tricksterism and japery. The identity of the puppet master behind all of this is now painfully obvious to you. Doof. Spider troll. Play records. You select appropriate crime-solving music to set the right mood. With this kind of atmosphere, it is highly unlikely that any crime will stay unsolved for long. Remove Midnight Crew record. No, this vaudevillian cornball nonsense will not do it all. The mood is just not right for figuring out crimes. You put the record back in its sleeve. Examine cover. Who's this douche bag? Who's this douchebag?
I'm going to give you a great song now by Eddie Morton, one of my favorite ragtime era performers on record, who was actually a former Philadelphia police officer before he made it big on vaudeville, and then became a recording artist with such record companies as Victor and Columbia. So here he is with a song he did in 1909 called I'm a Member of Midnight Crew. Mr. Eddie Morton. On the Victor Grand Prize label, and that's
well, that's enough of that. Before you can make heads or tails of who exactly this douchebag is, something rolls out of the sleeve. It appears to be a very small record. It's so small. What is such a small record doing in this great big sleeve? You got Homestuck, disc 2. You cannot get over how tiny this record is. It's true. It's adorable. You wonder what sort of music it plays. Oh, I can't believe we've had, records for well over 100 years now. What was that, in like 1890? 1895-ish? Like, goddamn, time flies. Crazy. Play tiny record. I don't think you're supposed to play a CD. Predictably, you scratch the surface of the disc. What were you expecting? It's almost like you don't even know what a CD is. With the disc damage, who knows what sort of effects it'll have on the data. Better store it somewhere safe to prevent any more mishaps. Capture log disc. It should be perfectly safe from any similar kinds of damage while secured in your scratch and sniff modus. Examine chess. You have spent way too much time calibrating the ambiance of your investigation and not nearly enough time investigating. It is one of the most common pitfalls for being an investigator. Aside from literal pitfalls, which you actually fall into. There are 2 chests in this secret room, nothing out of the ordinary. Chests are everywhere in this lab, and people find it all too tempting to sneak their personal belongings into them for safekeeping. That is, until the goods are stolen shortly after by those who can't resist looting every chest they encounter, which is everybody. Maybe these ones contain clues? Open chest. You get your neophyte red glare role-playing outfit. What is this doing in here? You have not worn it since your florping days. The only part of it you kept on hand was a stylish pair of glasses, which of course, since the incident, has managed to become a regular accessory. But you cannot imagine how someone could have gotten their hands on the rest of it. Surely a crafty and resourceful criminal is at work. Spider Troll, Spider Troll, Spider Troll. Wear suit. You don the garb of the legendary legislator. It brings back memories of many successful fantasy prosecutions, resulting in the real executions of rival players. Those were the days. Open other chest. You got your Pyrospite plush. Pyrospite was your scalemate sidekick during your campaigns. He was the model of loyalty, friendship, and righteous retribution. More than could be said for another partner in justice. There's no doubt about it anymore. She's clearly baiting you into confrontation. You mean baiting. Hug Pyrospite. Squeak! Embrace your old friend, releasing a mighty and majestic squeak. It has been too long, old friend. You vow never to let him out of your sight. Scent again. Honk. The puppet is becoming a nuisance. It appears to exhibit the same incredible puppet fastness properties which Dave's had. Must be some form of universal puppet enchantment. It couldn't possibly be the same one, because that would just be insane. Hey, where did Pyrospite go? Look up. There he is. How'd he get all the way up there? He has always been quite the slippery scallywag. Maybe he was reminding you to check out the note. You almost forgot his way up there. What with all your furious investigating, most of which has involved fooling around with records, hugging plush toys, and cosplaying as a childhood heroine. Read it. Just as you thought, it was a message from Friska summoning you to do battle. It is written in Gamzee's rich jelly-smelling blood, but it isn't her handwriting for sure. Her quirk is present, leaving the matter undeniable. Fake. But why the hell does she want you to bring this stupid puppet along? She's so weird. There's a journal entry on the back. It probably isn't the slightest bit relevant to the current situation, but you guess it couldn't hurt to read it anyway. Undebatable. I just said a word and I was like, you know what? Whatever. Examine journal entry. I suppose I'll have to get used to writing with this hand instead. I now do so in captivity while I bring my awe to bear on the immensity of the subjugulator's hijinks. I take their gesture as plain avowal of my prosecution's futility. With a lone neophyte assigned to the task, how can I view it otherwise? I'm sure they'd drawn from the bottom of their decks, not intending to squander more competent mercenaries on one who'd made a show of outclassing them all before. But I discovered too late that Red Glare was their wild card all along. How is one allowed to be raised by a dragon in this era, let alone one of such middling blood, the sickly hue of a gutless civil servant? Those of her cats are typically pleased to mount a sluggish cholerator or some brainless, squawking spleen fowl during petty expeditions to plaster seizure notices on gambling nats' property. By what fluke was this woman granted such a weapon, permitting her to luxuriate in these delusions of righteousness? Someone blocked the light of the unbitten moon. Treating the harbor to darkness more grim than what fell this season's apogee. I made this mistake of looking into its eyes, each like a sun concentrated into a small jewel, as two hot garnets searing through a black veil. I shut mine quickly, but the more sensitive of them was burned irreparably. When I regained sight in the other, there was only red. My fleet was in flames. The neophyte was on deck, Pyrospite. She mentioned through her ridiculous forced grin. She wanted me to know the name of the beast which was able to consume my Lucis hold. My dice were in the hold below, not that my present luck would consent to a favorable roll anyway. I made a move for my blade. She took my arm, which I'm sure she kept as the tiniest of snacks for her ostentatious custodian. Maybe she meant to prove she wouldn't need me in irons to have my submission. Bound or free. 2, 1 or none. I wonder how well she knows it's not what I do with my arm she has to fear. I await my trial. Insert disc 2. Yes, roof. Now, bring the puppet. Boom. Pop up here. John, you're hitting the blackout, so I won't be able to see you. Oh yeah, I'll be waiting. Yeah, we already read that. Much fanfare was made of the trial, more than I would have dared to hope. It seems my luck has been returning of late. The High Bloods surely intended to make a spectacle of my conviction. They filled the court block with peasants ravenous for the comeuppance of a blue blood. I wasn't about to deny them what they came for. It was kind of the authorities to supply me with a phalanx of such impressionable spectators. The weak wills were nearly as thick in the air as the rust in their veins. Funny how my other senses seem to have peaked since exchanging glances with the dragon. What an extraordinary specimen. How I've come to covet the creature since it ruined my fleet. I know too well the whispers of a dangerous new infatuation when they beckon, but I digress. It was simple enough to nudge the hostility of the low bloods from one aristocrat to another. The subjugulators could not have been pleased, but nor could they have been altogether unamused, I would expect. I wonder if this was part of their unfathomable game. I'll never understand their riddles. I only regret I didn't get to hear the opening statement the neophyte had prepared against me. The case she compiled from all that evidence she burned must have been damning. I bet her remarks would have stung worse than when she severed my arm. She certainly would have shown me greater mercy by taking the other instead. Alas, I mocked to disguise the extent of my regret. Had my escape not necessitated her demise, she would have made a lovely rival. If she'd only discarded her childish preoccupation with justice, it might have made a striking scourge. Had we inched blacker, we'd have torn red miles across the land and sea. Unfortunately, the only miles we found through her bureaucratic calling were those of red tape. When so ensnared, one is eventually bound to be choked. With that court block cleared, all that remained to obstruct my freedom was his honorable tyranny himself. Upon reflection, red glare showed the foresight of a true seer and thief in my arm before the trial. Wow. It permitted a fair fight. Though I was free, I had no fleet. No matter. With the Gamlinats decimated, I had embraced the turn in fortune and pledged to put my sea-grifting ways behind me. With any luck, the skies will be my future. My thoughts again returned to that dragon. But first, I was in need of a temporary refuge. I sought it with the expatriate. He owed me for the sweeps of protection I provided after his brazen defiance of the High Bloods. It was perhaps the only such courageous stand ever taken against a superior by one of his supercilious pedigree, and I'd not have bothered sticking my neck out for another, but the admiration he'd won naturally wore thin as he persistently bemoaned his treason and banishment, and I was saddened to find this habit holding strong even now. I wonder if he still believes she was worth it. Hey, it's that guy. Bearing my arm would go a little further in squaring his debt with me, even if I came with both intact. I might have ripped one off and put him to the task just to halt his blubbering. The Darkleer was always a skilled machinist, and the work proved an adequate distraction. So pacified, he listened to what I had to say about my recent travails with the law and pyrospite, and what I'd come for in truth, the treasure he'd been keeping safe for me. I cradled the oracle in my synthetic hand, as if appraising by weight the mystic qualities it still concealed. With my vision eightfold seared away, I was as blind to its secrets as the old doctor was to its present whereabouts. I learned to keep it cloaked from the awareness of the man who once called me his protege, a backhanded term of endearment from a smug manipulator. Locating his so-called dark pockets was the only gambit I had in countering his milk-tongued doublespeak. The expatriate, for indiscernible reasons, seemed naturally surrounded by such a void in the doctor's awareness, and so was uniquely fit to inherit the orb. The doctor could not see his treasure, nor I into it. I considered what to do with it for a while. Should I find Pyrospite by consulting with the Oracle, as I'd done so often to steal fortune from my adversaries? I guess exploiting some technological means of gazing through its surface may have been simple enough, but I hesitated. Every expedient granted by its counsel, though never instantly, came at a price. Knowing his nature, I'm surprised I only now recognize it as yet another instrument of his spurring benevolence. Dangerous by way of selective divulgence. The sense of infallibility his oracle brought me was superficial, and in hindsight weakened my readiness. Knowing my fate so far in advance, I took Redglaire's threat lightly. The greatest mistake I have ever made was asking the orb when I would die. But as I revisited the prophecies surrounding this unfortunate query, something struck me. I thought of the man I would have as a mate sprite centuries from now, who was said to command an army of beasts. The one it called the Summoner. Okay, so that's why she was obsessed with Tavros. Because, okay. Interesting. Alright, that all connects. If my obsession with the dragon should continue to burn for so long, would he be the one to assist me in taming it? I did not have enough knowledge to ask the right questions when I had the opportunity. Were that the case, I might have asked if it would be his rare abilities of communion that would bring Pyrospite under control. Would it be on account of my influence? And if so, would I exert this influence by taking its will or winning its heart? These are details I would have given no second thought in drawing from the orb. My curiosity of force usually too much to quell, but now I've thought of the summoner often. I have been troubled to know that as one so common-blooded, he could not possibly have hatched yet, nor will he wriggle from the caverns for many sweeps. So I must have patience to take up my role in a story of heroism. It is a tale which reads to me as though lifted from a child's story, yet I know I'd be a fool to doubt its veracity entirely. He would rise through the ranks of the cavalry reapers and assume command, having proven the most skilled and fearless of them. He would exhibit a remarkable occupation, this sort only recorded in myth, growing, or perhaps simply revealing, a striking pair of wings. His army, thus inspired, would spearhead a major rebellion, surely one at least on the scale of the sectarian revolt crushed by the High Bloods, who thereafter forbade its mention or any invocation of the heretical symbols at all, even in private journals, which is why I'll stick to the fable of the summoner and not risk another execution with even oblique reference to the compelling tale of the sufferer. Resolution of the summoner's mutiny is foggy, as I only understand what has been related to me through the brief answers I thought to solicit. Ultimately, the ire of the contents would be such that in the settling dust of the conflict, she would banish all from the homeworld except the young. She would scatter all who reach maturity to the stars to fight her wars, I presume to keep them occupied, existing in a less centralized state from which such a coup may arise. This is still an incredible notion for me to consider, and I cannot imagine how she would have come to enforce such an upheaval in our civilization, though I suppose she will have on her side the advantage of an unparalleled lifespan, the leverage extended by the hideous psychic prongs of her deep indulging monstrosity, that is, until it chooses another little witch to serve. Nevertheless, I take the prediction as truth, and find it amusing that a homeworld dominated by children will be the great summoner's legacy, one of them at least. More importantly, and less amusing, his legacy will be my demise. You see, I first learned his name when I asked who would be the one to kill me. I have never spoken or written of him out of contempt for the prophecy, but do so here, in my final entry for this journal. I took this to be a pitiable fate, and scoured the orb for any means of escaping it, or at least to salvage a little dignity from the tale of my downfall. Alas, it has no consolation for my vanity. But as I sit here deciding what to do with the damnable little sphere, I understand my error. It was not failing to chart a course through future events to turn my fortune's tide. Even so many sweeps from now, it was believing the future is mine to know, and fortune mine to control. If this hero is meant to breathe life into my embittered heart, and if he is to earn the right to run it through, then so be it. For him, I will commit to this page my highest expectations, and for what precious uncertainty is left in my future, I renew my vigorous anticipation. The oracle I will resolve to part with. I will conceal it in a crypt bearing the sign of the expatriate, with a map to its location hidden in its journal. To whomever finds it, be wary, for the truth it tells may leave its new keeper blind as I was, though no more. Blip. Jesus, okay. You gotta be careful with your discs. If they get scratched, some bad stuff can happen. If they get scratched. Hey, Red Glare, nice outfit. Same to you. Vriska. As much as it pains me to admit, your fruity orange fairy suit smells delicious. Next, I see you finally wised up and started taking this rivalry seriously. It was hard to antagonize you probably while you refused to get into character. I am not in character. This is serious business, Vriska. See, I brought my deadly can sword, my coin, and everything. Yes, I can see that, so you've come for revenge, and I thought we settled this all a long time ago. No, not revenge, justice. For the despicable murders of our innocent friends. Murders, like plural? Vriska, please, do not try to deny it. I found the evidence. Tavros, Nepeta, even Gamzee. I mean, really, Vriska. Gamzee? Oh. Gamzee isn't dead, you dope. You flipped out or something, and now... Well, yeah, okay, there was like one murder I was responsible for. You know Tavros? That was me, I guess. But that's it. He was the only one I killed. Just that one guy. Facepalm ×3 combo. Both know you can't beat Jack. All that will happen is you'll lead him here and he will kill us all. He will follow your sugary pixie trail with his keen canine snout. I've already seen this consequence in my mind's eye. Fascinating. Why don't you tell me your terms already? Forget my pixie trail. At this rate, my snoring will lead him to us. Lol. What I propose is simple. I flip. Heads, you say. Scratch, you go. You're kidding, right? You want luck to decide this? Maybe you forgot who you're dealing with. I'm the thief of light. You really expect me to lose a simple coin flip? I've got all the luck, remember? I did not forget. What will it be, Marquis? Marquis? Just flip the fucking coin, neophyte. The disc is too badly damaged. You can no longer play Homestuck. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Quit. You are forced to quit. You will not be able to resume playing unless you can repair the scratch of the disc. You'll need to seek the service of someone who is capable of fixing a scratch doctor, if you will. Visit doctor. You rang? That was a joke. Of course you didn't. I don't have a doorbell, remember? Hee hee ha ho hee ha ha ho ha hee ha ho. Please come in. Oh, look. Everything's all different. Welcome to my apartment. I trust you'll find my voice is more palatable against this decor. I continue to be an excellent host. I'm expecting 2 more guests later. First one, and then another. Make yourself comfortable in the meantime, but don't touch the candy on the table. That is reserved for one of my guests. Let's have a look at this disc. She really did a number on it, didn't she? It's virtually unplayable like this. What a shame. There's so many moments trapped on this disc with which you would have no doubt found to be quite exhilarating. But yes, I can fix it. Oh. Whoop. It will take time, though, I estimate, by which I mean I am certain by way of omniscience, and then I am done, we will have reached just shy of the green circle on the card above. I'm sure you have already presumed this mark represents the beginning of Act 6. The disc should be ready to run in time to witness the critical event. A confluence of thickly interwoven, concurrent circumstances, which have been meticulously arranged by myself, influenced to a much lesser extent by you, and by an even more negligible degree our heroes. The scratch will be healed in time to watch these heroes put into motion. Yes, the scratch itself. If you don't mind waiting here while I complete my repairs, I will tell you the rest of the story. I will show you as well as I recover data from the disc, but the visuals I supply will be nothing more than abbreviated snapshots, and my telling will be abridged. Immortality notwithstanding, I'm not going to live forever, you know. Tick. And since for once in my life time is at a premium, let's get on with it. Where were we? Talk. Never mind, I figured it out instantly because of my unfathomable intellect, limitless knowledge, and mind-boggling charisma. Granted, my charisma has less to do with it than the other qualities, but it didn't hurt, did it? Here, I'll show you. The seer of mine has challenged the thief of light to a simple game of chance. If the result was the undamaged side, the thief would agree to stay. If not, she would go. Talk. The result of the flip was left inconclusive, at which point you decided to pay me a visit, but the inconclusive should not be confused with the uncertain. The actual result was trivial. It was a constant across all timelines. Both the seer and the thief knew this. The thief used her abilities to steal the fortune of her opponent and forced the flip to yield what she regarded as the most favorable outcome. The seer anticipated this move correctly. This is why I don't care much for gambling. While a sucker is born with each tick of the clock, a cheater is born with each talk betwixt, also because it is boring, and I am already a very wealthy man. Tick. The seer related terms to the generally understood ergo of the assassin. The results go, while at the face value would suggest the thief was allowed to leave, was actually the seer's code word for the threat of death. This is obvious to everyone, including the thief. Talk. While the thief turned to fly away, making a show of claiming her prize, the seer would stab her in the back the moment her guard was dropped. This is her plan, not a particularly clever tactic in its own right, but its ingenuity didn't dwell in the novelty of the ruse, nor even the neutralized probabilities in the game of chance. Psychology was in play. Tick. Naturally, the thief knew this was not her intent all along. She knew that Seer would have understood the outcome to be rigged, and that she likely intended to kill her as a consequence of the fixed result. This is to be seen as an implicit dare to the thief to allow the flip to fall fairly, something which the seer knew the thief's ego wouldn't allow. And the seer knew the thief knew all this as well. Just another pair of cheaters attempting to play with their cards face up. Amateurs. Talk. Each was gambling, not with any vehicle of probability, which has been eliminated from the equation, but with each other's intentions. The thief indeed took the seer's bait, stealing the luck needed to effect the flip in defiance of her dare, and in turning to leave, she then posed a dare of her own to find the seer, challenging her to back up the implied threat. This is the thief's gamble. She wagered the seer would not be able to go through with it. She was right. So ends a tale of rivalry. Well, almost. There's a bit more, but in order to understand its proper conclusion, we should first catch up with another of my protégés, from whom I'm expecting a message shortly. The other seer. The other hero of light. Tick. Talk. Tick. Oh, shit. Round 2. Strife. Here we left our human hero of light, Ogloberry. She flew away to take advantage of the noir this side of the scratch, that is, the one less angry and dangerous, the one not yet unmotivated by a compelling duel. Compelling, but not particularly challenging. The seer wouldn't win this duel. My apologies if this spoils the outcome for you. I can't speak as discreetly about such matters against this canvas. Tick. I warned her. I warned my neophyte protege not to stare into that ball. Talk. I told her about stairs. Moving on. I remind you that the pacing of my account will be characterized by a reduction in granularity from what you have come to expect by way of an undamaged disc. You will imagine the remainder of the duel to be sensational, and I will continue my steady distribution of facts as if they were pieces of candy poured from a bottomless white hemisphere. The duel ends, the seer dies, the slayer departs, the heir comes back to life. His outcome is hardly a point of suspense. It would be disingenuous of me to present it as such, and I will not belittle your intelligence with such a tawdry narrative ploy. It would be rude, and I am too well dressed for that kind of behavior. If there truly stood some chance of permanence to the heir's corpsehood, I can hear you asking now, how could this moment later come to pass? As for that matter, what sort of story would this be with our human hero of breath made to stay a cadaver? Definitely not one the Alpha timeline would allow. And what sort of spectator would you be? If he'd forgotten the terms ruling the conditional immortality he won with his previous similarly unceremonious impaling, he'd done nothing to earn martyrdom, by which we might laud his fall as heroic, nor had he tasted notoriety. This year of death one may parse just, and while I can't give you my assurance, I'm reasonably convinced of this much. When the hero of breath dies for good, it won't be as a scoundrel, but not for lack of devoted mentor. If I had served as his mentor directly rather than as his mentor's mentor, he may have stood a fair chance of perpetrating something underhanded. At the very least, his jokes might have been better. Instead, he got her. The other hero of light, always bugging him, bugging and fussing and meddling. What's her deal? Let's find out. I mentioned there was a bit more to her story. I believe it's time to resume it. I trust you won't mind if I step away for a moment. I have important guests arriving very soon. If you need me, I'll be up here. Make sure everything is in order, which it already is, and keeping an eye, which I don't have, on the clock, which I don't need. Tick. Doc. Dick. Doc. Bonk. Dick. Doc. Oh yeah, I see him up here. He's doing the whole thing that he was doing with this version of Jack. Dick. They're going over. Doc. Gonna go look at the candy. Dick. Pouring out the candy. Dick. Doc. Unlocked albums. Homestuck Volume 7 and Mobius Strip. Wow. Unlocking albums right and left. Doc. Apologies for my preoccupation. I have managed to pacify the rowdier of my two other guests with sugary little black dogs, so that I may continue my narration, but only briefly. In a moment I will go stand over by my typewriter and teach my neophyte protege the consequences for taking advice from strange men over the internet. While I continue to tend to my second guest, who is you from an earlier point in the story. Remember? Smush. Smushing those shit right on there. We met here in my apartment a little while ago. At that moment, I was busy hosting you from the future, who is you right now, but I did not mention this at the time. I would have introduced your past self to your future self and vice versa, but it's a well-known fact that past and future selves tend not to get along. A good host would never tolerate the potential for discord among guests, and as hosts go, I am simply the best there is. Please don't be alarmed. Past you was just leaving. Where was I? Of course. Jacket up there. The two heroes of light had challenged the same Jack Noir, the one straddling the scratch in about 20 hours of his own time, to a circumstantially simultaneously pair of duels. Circumstantially simultaneity is a concept more complex than its temporal analog, and is valuable for examining the properties of paradox space. It is the agent responsible for the major cosmic event which pre-extinction Alternians came to refer to as the Great Undoing. The same concept rules the innumerable lesser events by which this critical moment shall be catalyzed, including the break, my employer's arrival, the detonation of a very powerful bomb, and my own death. It is an abstraction weaving together the fortunes of otherwise perfectly disparate chronologies, such as those bound to a pair of distinct sessions. It's not fully comprehensible to a mortal mind, and this length I will go to explain it to you will not extend beyond this sentence, but the story will. The Slayer was, for the moment, unmotivated by the thief's motion for a compelling duel. This side of the scratch, he opted for a more ruthless and calculating policy of extermination. On his arrival, not about to repeat the mistakes leading to his banishment, he quickly obliterated all 12 planets, followed by Prospect and Durs, to weed out those who might outsmart him in the same manner. With his little fanfare, he seized the opportunity to follow the thief's trail quickly before it dissipated and destroyed their hideout in the Vale. And now, knowing her position, he would soon return for the duel she wanted, but not without a pair of trophies. Oh, fuck. Dick. Oh, he's pouring some gasoline? Oh, yeah, he is burning stuff, just like they said he was going to. Doc. Pouring all that gasoline. He's got that joke book. He's got a book. Honk, 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 honk. Again, sorry for the interruption. The conversation with the girl ran a bit long, slightly exceeding the 1 second I scheduled for it. This is where events began to outpace my awareness. The deeper into this dark pocket we explore, the more I'll be forced to speculate. Rarely have cause to rely on probability, but luckily for you, my guesses are better than anybody's. Tick. I've always believed that a good storyteller should keep a comprehensive record of past events on hand, a scrapbook of personal significance, for instance, from which he may piece together current moments from past ones of a similar, if not identical, nature. It's more efficient. Talk. Honk, 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 honk. It's almost logical, since there's essentially nothing new in paradox space. Everything that can happen is either a visual or a substantive reproduction of something which has already transpired on a timeline, offshoot or otherwise. Tick. And if I'm going speculate on this duel, I might as well make use of earlier clippings. For the Slayer, this is round 1 against the Hero of Light. Talk. And I really need to do is flip it turnways, like so, and we have. Oh, so he's lighting it up. Round 2. Everything's on fire. Shock. The thief would probably roll her dice. And just as probably due to her impressive hoard of stolen fortune, she would have a 100% chance of rolling the most favorable results. Ordinarily, this result would be almost impossibly improbable. The odds of the roll would be 1 in 16,777,216 to be specific. And to be less specific, 1 in where y equals 8. He. 8 to the 8th power. Dick. Talk. Everything's on fire. Gotta pull that fire alarm. Talk. Tick. Still on fire. We got this other guy. He's got he's got the 11. Tick. Talk. Shoosh. Ching. In round 2, the Slayer would be not merely compelled, but challenge him, I guess is right. Challenged by one claiming godhood before reaping the prodigious spoils from striking down a formidable endgame foe. One with the guile of a cheater, the luck of a clover, the hubris of a mentor, and the drive known only to be pathologically competitive. I believe he'd be challenged, yes. Dick. Talk. But not outmatched. As one who shares the Slayer's source of power, my projection must give him the unambiguous advantage. But even so, while I continue to not be a gambling man, shh. That doesn't stop being a thing that was true or anything. Talk. I'm gonna go hit this guy over the head. It's reasonably sure that if I was, I wouldn't bet against her. Bonk. Moving on. Beating him to death with a crowbar. Let's pull back from this ever-narrowing dark pocket. All this uncertainty is wearing thinner than the only pair of pants in an immortal's wardrobe. I've never much enjoyed navigating the vortices of alternative possibility. The path which alone has my absolute mastery is the Alpha timeline, a continuum I define as that which boasts exclusive rights both to my birth and to my death. Two circumstantially simultaneous events. Any divergence from this path to my knowing will taper into blackness like rotting roots. But if I was a seer, such offshoots would be fully within my domain, and if I was a seer of mind in particular, synaptic causality would be my specialty. A seer of mind would have given you a more reliable account, perhaps, but then she would do many things I wouldn't. Tick. A seer would support her allies in battle not with her weapons, but her vision. She would sift through dross of her comrades' poor tactical inclinations and examine the grim consequences. A seer would not charge into the fray headlong, but direct it as a conductor with a baton. She would have had the sight to eschew the obvious gambits and find the path to victory disguised cleverly as setback or even imminent defeat. She would behold the fortunes of friends and foes in totality and appraise the contrivance of luck itself. She would know its mines were not to be plundered, but simply explored and charted carefully. Talk. Going. A true seer would know where luck is given, where it is absent, and most importantly, where it doesn't matter at all. Oh, right in the coaster. Tick. And she would know victory doesn't matter in a reality where all else is doomed to fail. Talk. What sort of story would this be with our knight and seer made to stay cadaverous? Certainly not the alpha timeline would allow. And not one she'd allow either. Talk. Tick. Boom full holes. Talk. Tick. Talk. Is that Tavros? No, that's, oh my god. Tick. Hold on a second, I gotta check my phone. Make sure I didn't get a phone call. Nope. Okay. Okay. Tick. You think you're so cool, bro. Sloppy makeouts now. On the roof. Hee hee hee. Talk. Tick. There's some stuff going on up there. Still space. We got a remainder. Talk. Oh, it's this lady. I was. Honk. Honk. Tick. Stabbed him. John, you're heading into the blackout. Yeah, that's the same one from before. Talk. All of the dots, John. All 16.777216 million of them. Still dead, huh? Are you too busy weeping over a corpse to pick up that headset and answer me? You can't fool me, John. I know you're not staying dead for long. And it is not just because I can clearly see you're alive in the future. You see, we're both the best there is, and therefore we have special privileges when it comes to mortality. It's hard to keep a god dead for good. We can only die under very specific circumstances. Didn't I mention? TikTok. Smoking. Heroic. Just. Oh, it just does that. Okay. Nothing too glorious about the way you just died, I bet. Let me guess, even after all my lessons, you allowed yourself to get sucker stabbed, right? Pretty lame. I mean, lucky for you, it was lame. I guess being lame pays off when dying a hero is what gets you killed. If our hero breath reached God tier, he would have been completely indestructible. LOL. Damn, I forgot. I was going to stop ripping on that guy since he got stabbed through the chest and died. Haha, whoops. Anyway, I figure you're probably safe from a just death, too, since I'm pretty sure you haven't done anything all that despicable. Yet. Stop. I don't know for sure, but I'm betting that if I go to fight Jack, it will wipe out all the bad things I've done. I think if I die, it'll be a hero's death, so it ought to stick. Pretty good motivation to win the fight, though, don't you think? One way or another, I think this will be my last big challenge as a gamer. Capital G gamer. As such, I would like to pass my dice on to you. It is very important to me that they stay in good hands, John. That you continue their legacy and that of my ancestor. Use the code. I'm sure I can count on you to make something awesome with it. 2 the 8th? Slick. I'm serious. Please stop. Still not alive yet? Man, you better hurry up. She probably doesn't have much time left. Trust me. What she's going through on Durst right now isn't much fun. Okay, I guess I should mention why I'm trying to contact you now of all times, rather than just skipping ahead. Remember we talked about our backup plan, the one you have devised to defeat Jack? In the off chance I fail? Well, it's not going to work if Rose is dead, is it? You have to wake her up, breathe some life into her, do the windy thing with your lips. You know what that means. Oh my. Let's make it out. Gotta kiss her. Don't worry, I still can't see you, so there's no reason to be bashful or anything. And since we're a couple of professionals here who are focused on winning, we both know it doesn't have any meaning. It's not like I could be jealous even if I could see. Why would I be? Or maybe that didn't even cross your mind. Ha, man, why am I even talking about this? Oh my, oh my, oh my. This will not do at all. Oh yeah, those two are kissing. Let's just forget I said that. This isn't really how I wanted this conversation to go. I guess I was assuming you'd be talking back by now, so now I'm just talking and spinning my wheel device like an idiot. Maybe I don't actually know how I wanted it to go. I guess I could just shut up and skip ahead on your timeline a little, talk to you when you're alive. That would make sense, so I guess I'll do that. But then, maybe if I did, I wouldn't actually say what I wanted to say, so I'll just say it. Pardon me while I adjust the narrow, fenestrated wall. Bang, 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 bang. To be honest, I'm nervous about this fight. I'm still going through with it for a lot of reasons. To save my friends, or at least the ones who are still alive. Oh, and I guess to save reality itself from being totally fucked up. There's that too. But I think what's motivating me to win this fight the most is the possibility of getting to meet you when it's all over. Then I can finally put all this terrible stuff behind me and I won't have to worry about being the best anymore. Or proving what a ruthless killer I can be. Maybe I can try out whatever it's supposed to be normal for a human. Who knows, it might not be as boring as it sounds. Maybe, if you're not too freaked out by all the bad things I've done, or the fact that I am an alien, we could go on a date? To redirect the view from this impropriety, oh goodness, hate snog. Don't worry, it could be a human date, whatever that entails. No weird alien stuff, I promise. And no killing or murders, or even talking about killing or murders and such. Just whatever you like to talk about and think is cool. I could even be persuaded to watch more of your absurd human films. Do you like any others which feature that rugged human with the long hair and wounded arm? You know the one, the sweaty guy with the mutilated animal and the speech impediment. Those would be tolerable to watch, I bet. There. Jade's here. Well, think it over. Before I go, I'll get in touch one more time later on when you're alive and maybe have something to say about it. Oh yeah, sorry about your adult male guardian. I wasn't trying to be deceptive by not telling you. I decided not to because I didn't want to be the one to make you sad about it. Is that selfish of me? I don't know. You would have found out regardless, like we all did. There are things that we care about that we just have to leave behind. It just sucks for those that aren't in as much a hurry to leave it all behind as me. Wait, someone's coming. Hang on. I'm a wonderful chaperone as well as an excellent host. Frogs. Shoot. Oh god, she's wearing her RP outfit. What the hell is she up to? Man, she's got her dumb dragon doll and everything. Guess she means business with that this time. Damn it, I gotta go deal with this now. Anyway, if you actually get around to reading any of this, thanks for listening, John. If my outrageously great luck has any say in the matter, we'll be meeting up in no time. Just please consider what I said. Okay, later. Heart, 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 heart. Tick tock, tick. Back to the clock. Heroic. Just. Stop! This is supposed to keep going. Okay, no, this is actually going somewhere. Lock destroyed. 1001 out of 1000. Facepalm times 0 combo. Oh, for crying out loud. It's like I can tolerate many things from a guest. Curt manners, egregious womanizing, murdering the help, casual arson, even atrocious candy bowl etiquette. Dead. Oh, Nicholas. But it is the desecration of a priceless timepiece which I must draw the line. I'm afraid I must now insist that you take your beating quite personally. Break. Are they also fighting Jack? What the fuck happened there? Strife. Beat. Those teeth flying out. Friska, wait. Oops. Hold on. Hey, are you there? I did what you said, but I can't tell if it worked. Hello? You didn't fly off to fight Jack yet, did you? I hope not. Anyway, all that stuff you said sounds fun to me. I have Hells of the Cage flicks in my library. I don't even care that you're an alien. You see, Cage is the universal constant which unites us all. Well, you haven't flown away. I will look forward to your message in the future. It'd be nice to talk about all the stuff that happened. Anyway, bye. Oh god! Hey, oh my fucking hell, this is so insanely awkward and sad. What is? Hang on. Heads. Bam. Hey, Carcat, that was you? Where's Vriska? She what? Shit, I feel like an asshole for reading this whole thing. What whole thing? You mean what she wrote? Yeah. Why are you snooping around her computer? Because, wow, okay, so let me ask. Did you both actually like each other? Like, I mean, something vaguely resembling actual, genuine, mutual sentiment or whatever, not some lopsided, pining bullshit? What are you talking about? Did you like her, you windsocket-eated, headed shit mouth? Is what I'm asking. Well, yeah, why? Okay, that's fine. Then we'll talk about it later. Talk about what? I need you to be able to think straight. We have important shit to go over, and I don't have much time. And so on. Otto Harley. Uppercut. Alright, like what? Plans. What plans? Never mind that. First, get out of the fucking blackout to a place where I can see you. Leave now. I'll contact you in a while once you've landed. Landed where? Lohawk, obviously. Oh, obviously. Well, how else do you think you're going to cause the scratch, idiot? Do you even have any clue what's going on? Wait, of course you don't. You're wearing pajamas and giggling at clouds like each one was shaped like the rudest bit of naked anatomy of a human can recognize. No, I'm not. I mean, yes, I am wearing some pretty nice pajamas, but I know lots of things, like about the tumor, which I've already recovered. Wait, I mean, color equals zuzuzu, the tumor color. Wait, fuck. I mean, oh, screw it. You know, the big bomb and some other stuff like that. I'm totally in the loop. Great, awesome. Now get going. So I have to cause the scratch, huh? Okay, I'm done here. Talk to you in 1 second for me. One long, windy fucking journey for you. Okay, hi. Let me down, Slick. Adagio Redshift. Let's get down to business. Aren't you gonna ask me how my journey was? No. It was long and windy, but a lot of fun. I really like flying. It's so much fun. Oh, I bet it was just the biggest fucking blast a guy can have without a pair of shame globes secured in his 2 trembling fists. You haven't tried it? Every douche get to fly but me. Even the cripple. May he rest in peace, I fucking guess. Wait, is that the guy who Friska killed? Oh god, you actually know about that? You know what? I give the fuck up trying to understand you and her. Huh? Why? Egbert, goddammit, will you shut your mouth and listen? Okay, but is something wrong? What? A while ago you talked to me and it sounded like you were in danger and it sounded like some people died, but you never told me what happened. Then I got distracted by a lot of scary stuff, or a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, something is wrong, or was. A bunch of us died. The end. I don't really want to talk about it. Oh, are you sure? Yeah, so not just because, oh, the clock is rapidly ticking down to something we're calling the critical moment, and no, I don't want know what that is, so close your reeking question geyser before it asks. But I'm your friend, aren't I? Oh god, well? John, I can't handle talking about it, okay? I just got done dealing with Gamzee, and I'm feeling pretty emotional about it, so please, no. Who's Gamzee? He was my best friend. Really? I thought Teresa was your best friend. Oh wait, maybe she was your girlfriend, I forget. My think pan, it hurts. Is it presently threatening to make me its bitch, John? Is that what you want? You want your cool alien pal to become the bitch of a raw throbbing think pan, such as the scenario before us. So I don't mean to be nosy. I just want to know some things about your situation. I'm concerned. Gamzee was my very good friend who was this goofy, lovable bullshit clown until he went psycho and killed some people. I liked him a lot. I don't know. I guess my best friend is really just the guy who I happen to be feeling most sentimental at the moment. Is that a fucking crime? No, I think I know how you feel. So he killed some people and then what? So then it's okay, you can tell me. John, trust me, you wouldn't understand. It's just a troll thing. Humans wouldn't get it. You might think I was a shithead and I can't deal with that now on top of everything, so let's drop it. Okay, if you say so. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot. I've been dying to know since I left the battlefield. Do you know if Rose is okay? Did it work? I thought I could rely on you of all people. She's fine. She woke up alive on Durs. Really? That's the rule, John. You kiss a dead player in time and their dream self takes over, assuming they still have one. Oh, wow. It's incredible. You reach God tier status without even understanding the more mundane means of resurrection available. Wait, your unfailing cluelessness makes it the opposite of incredible. My mistake. So I guess it would not have worked on my dad then, or Rose's mom? No, but that is exactly what I wanted to picture happening behind the black curtain, John. You snogging up your dead, hatted man, Lucis. Thank you for that mental image. Or Rose's adult woman, Lucis. Maybe a dead woman who sweeps her senior is more your cup of sauce, since apparently you are not a homosexual, whatever that even means. Not even to speak of your race's absurd qualms with the notion of incest, which, again, still sort of wondering how that can even be a thing. Is that your game, Egbert? Have your eye on Madame Lalonde, and you've been waiting for a convenient resurrection opportunity to bust out your most passionate smooch motifs kept in reserve, and in front of her dead female offspring, no less? It's just shameful. Well, she is a very pretty lady, but that actually seems like a really inappropriate thing to think about, Carcat. You don't say. What are we even talking about anymore? I don't know. I'm frankly pretty upset about finding them dead in the Magic Castle, and I guess I was wondering aloud if something could have been done, or at least maybe to talk about it without angry tirades being involved. Exactly, you were embarking down Tragedy Lane, and we got to stamp that garbage out. We can't have you getting all morose while we got so many irons in the fire. Fuck, loaded phrase. Forget I said that. Just clam your shit up and forget your stupid guardian, like I did with my dear crab monster custodian, who I adored in no way whatsoever. You're being a douche. Wait, what am I saying? You're always a douche. Yes, thank you. Your dad was a crab monster? Shut the fuck up. We were talking about something important. Rose, remember? Yes. She's waiting on a jurist for your bomb to be delivered. It will arrive safely a little later. Oh, great. How do you know it gets there? Jade told me. Do what it is you do best. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, and then, okay, he's getting shot. That's awful. Deadly firearms. Jade from further ahead on your timeline. Before my piece of shit clown bro made everything terrible here, she and I were hammering out these plans. I talked to her across pretty much the full spread of her timeline until the scratch starts and the feed cuts out, so I have a sense of the whole picture here, and it's my job now to put some things into motion. That's cool. It's nice to hear you're working together. I should pester Jade and see what she's up to. You should sit your ass tight and do the fuck what I tell you the fuck to fucking do. Oh. Anyway, she and Dave do a lot of frog breeding, accelerating the process significantly by exploiting time travel with help from me and Kanaya, since we were in charge of frog duties in our session. Frog duties? Wait, which one is Kanaya again? Don't interrupt. I'm following my train of thought. Okay, Kanaya is my other best friend, and she is the hero of space, like Jade, which means she's the stoker of the forge, is basically in charge of frogs. Which sounds R-worded, I know. You breed the right frog to make the universe you want to make, which is a long, arduous process, and I kind of fucked it up in my game, but that's a whole other story, which I'll get to later, okay? Wow, okay. She and Dave ran into Jack, which I'm sure he must have saw coming, because I've never seen anyone exploit time travel so shamelessly as him. Not even Aradia. Aradia? Just another dead troll. Who cares? Sad face. Stop frowning. She was already dead before she died. Sad face. So she and Dave fought with him a while, and long story short, he died. What? But it's fine. I guess that was his plan, like some bizarre, useless last stand. Even if he didn't tell Jade, who was pretty freaked out until I talked her through it. Did she kiss him too? You're not supposed to kiss her, Mr. Noir. You're supposed to kill her. Yeah, right there, while Jack watched like a fucking creep. But it worked. Gee, Carcat, it's like your shitty shipping grid is coming true before our very eyes. Remember when you made that ugly thing? Who gives a fuck about shipping or my ludicrous stranglehold over all topics concerning romance? I'm still talking. We woke up alive on Durs and met with Rose. That was the end of the line for Alpha Dave, to my knowledge. He doesn't time travel after that, and he and Rose stay on Durs waiting for the bomb until you start the scratch. But I can't see either of them because of the blackout lingering around Rose for whatever reason. Nobody knows what's up with that. Regardless, his job is to plot a course through the ring to find the sun. When he does, either he or Rose will deliver the bomb. I don't know which. Now leave and never darken my door again.
Go drink some water, or I'll fucking end you.
But now they don't have dream selves left. Whoever goes will be risking their life for good, won't they? That would be the logical extension of those facts, yes. This is unacceptable. Can I do it? I am apparently immortal because of this god-tier business, so the bomb probably would not kill me. Okay, but don't you think there's a remote possibility that going on a suicide mission to save all of reality would count as a heroic death? Maybe I could try to be not all that brave while I do it? You asshole, of course you'd be brave. This tends to be what happens when you do something really fucking courageous. Yeah, I just don't want to lose anybody else is all. That's just how it is. I've lost friends for way more pointless reasons. You're all out of options here. You'd be risking death just as much as they would, and they're better qualified to handle the mission as the Durst Dreamers. Jade's dream self is dead too, so she's out, or to be more specific, her dream self is an overly emotional dog who went off whimpering somewhere. Pretty sure she'll be completely useless. Oh yeah, she mentioned something about that. She said she prototyped her dream self? What happened to that? She doesn't like to talk about it. Kind of a sore subject. Why? She thinks she's selfish, completely hysterical, and I guess hates the part of herself she represents. But I mean, the thing is, she spent a long time being dead and moving on. It's not like you can just bring somebody back and expect them to give a shit about all the stuff you think is important. I've tried to tell her that her sprite self is probably nowhere near as despicable as she's making out with herself to be. I mean, making herself out to be. You know what I mean? Look, I'm just saying, we've all got flaws, even her, and for all the shit she's given me on this very subject, she keeps herself dangling from a very high hook. She'd be doing me a major solid by making at least some attempt to get herself off. Wait, fuck, what did I just say? Wow. I mean, let herself off. The hook. The fucking hook. It's a figure of goddamn speech. Raises eyebrows. Put those the fuck back down. For my hot acid rage breath burns them off your idiotic face. Okay, putting them back down as not suggestively as possible. What are we even talking about? It wasn't this, whatever this is. What is what this is? It's nothing, you shit. It has been the conversational equivalent of whistling through our snort barrels while touching each other inappropriately. Was that another weird erotic slip of the tongue? No, that was me being worked up into this ridiculous fucking conniption and saying something inflammatory. God, how does this not be clear by now? Okay, well, what I'm getting from this, aside from the possibility that Jade may or may not have kissed a dog Jade at some point, is that neither of them will be able to help with the bomb plan. That's exactly right. The pajama prodigy used his puzzle sponge today. Besides, Jade is responsible for other important parts of the plan. For one thing, you'll have to wait for her to send you the code for the quills. You can't scratch the mesa without them. She got them from her denizen, or will later on her timeline, now that she lit the forge and woke the monster up. Are those the really tough guys to kill? Yeah. Did she kill him? Hell if I know. Her explanation of the entire encounter boiled down to, and I quote, shenanigans. Line for infuriating fag. Fag. Anyway, after she gives that to you, she then has to go through with the rest of the plan, which is making sure you all survive after the scratch, minus one of the Durst Dreamers, of course. The plan revolves around some really baffling hand-wavy mumbo-jumbo, which I don't really understand. But she told me to trust her about it because the info comes from a reliable informant, whited for smug tool. It involves something to do with a yellow lawn ring, which isn't the human word for it. It's just your word is so dumb I feel dumb saying it. Word for what? I guess your entire escape plan somehow pivots critically around an unwatered piece of residential property. It doesn't matter what it means. Jade says she has this figured out, and I don't have time to do much but trust her. The point is, she's all booked up and all too mortal, so she won't be delivering the bomb, and neither will you. Okay, well, what about this? Since she is mortal, and I am not, sort of, and I don't need to do the scratch for a while, can I go help her? Maybe she could use some protection? Maybe this is what Dave was just trying to do when he temporarily died. Remember, Jack is still on loose. He has killed Rose and Dave once, and me twice. No. Sweet bleeding Jesus, Egbert. Keep bragging about your immortality and then brainlessly announce plans to go off and do something heroic. You're going to have the shortest lifespan of any immortal in history. Sorry. Besides, it's a total non-issue. Jack wouldn't hesitate to stab you again, but he won't hurt Jade for some reason. If anything, you could use her protection. Really? I never noticed when looking through her timeline earlier. It wasn't until I was talking to her in those time frames that she told me. He just keeps following her around, and I can see him off in the distance in some frames, just lurking there, shadowing her movements. It's incredibly disturbing. He lingers around her until the scratch begins, and I lose the feed, never once doing anything threatening. She says she thinks it's because Jack inherited loyalty of her Lucis. If she's right, I guess her Lucis really did offer her the most protection possible by prototyping itself, albeit by dooming us all, the idiot. Now, that's actually kind of cute. Sadly, he holds no such loyalty to any of us here. He regards us all as ripe for the repeated skewering. Oh fuck, maybe we should have all just dress like Jade. I can't believe this stroke of genius only occurred to me now. I don't think you'd be fooled. Dogs have pretty good senses of smell. It was a motherfucking joke. Will you look at this mess? That is a mess. Anyway, it doesn't matter anymore. If we can ride this out for a little longer until the critical moment and Dave Rose can destroy the sun, Jack shouldn't be a threat. Conveniently, if they're successful, this will signal the beginning of our own escape plan. What is your plan? Apparently, the explosion will be so huge it will be visible at great distances throughout the furthest ring, even from different sessions like yours and ours. You won't get to see it because by then your session should be wiped out by the scratch, but we will. The plan is to use it as a beacon and travel there as a rendezvous point. Rendezvous with who? We've got people there, that's what Jade tells me. Jade knows so many things lately. What is even her deal? Hell if I know, this is basically dream intelligence. Every time she goes to sleep, she has more to ramble about. She says I should go to sleep to find out, but I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to be napping between making all these plans and getting persecuted by this demented honking asshole? So yeah, we'll meet in the aftermath of the explosion with our people on the inside, or I guess I should say outside. I don't think they can come with us, though. Come with you where? Who are they? Dead people. That's for where it's not like we're going to stick around there forever. That would probably be depressing, since we're not fucking ghosts. The scratch will reboot your session, your whole universe, actually. So somewhere in this dreadful abyss, the new session will start up in its own insiposphere from scratch. Look at that, another pun because of using that fucking word every other sentence. Kill me now. But that from scratch, effing LOL, session is what you're shooting for to survive. The idea is for you all to preserve yourselves by escaping there. Through the lawn ring? Yes, once you're there, you will help us find our way there too, and then we can all finally figure out what the fuck to do with the rest of our lives. Oh, so then this is how we're supposed to meet. This is kind of exciting. Yeah, I guess if enough of us are alive by then to meet. So I guess you're not worried about it turning into a huge sloppy makeout fest anymore. Right. John, you and Vriska better keep your hands to yourselves or everyone's going to be really uncomfortable. No interspecies funny business, is that clear? Blarg, I'm convincingly flipping my lid about this, waving my arms around a lot and making all my best yelling faces. Wow, look at them. It's time to change the subject again. Huh? Poof, subject change. If it works and you wind up in the new session, that's why it'll be important to make sure one of the Durst streamers stays with you so they can help guide us there from the ring. Won't there be other players in the new session, like alternate universe versions of ourselves or such? Probably. Those chumps won't know anything about us or all our plans. Why would they? It's just kind of a weird thought. So out of everything we just talked about, this is the thing that has been tripping globes, has you tripping globes, whatever you say. But I guess it's sort of comforting too. If Rose or Dave have to go off and die, at least I get to see them again, in a way. Even if I will only be alternate universe John in them, maybe my dad will be alive in that session too. Okay, maybe, but before you get too excited about that, you gotta make sure you get there first, which means you have to do what I say and stick to the plan. You need to focus on getting ready to start the scratch. The game doesn't make a hard reset that easy to pull off. Once you initiate it, the game throws everything it's got at you, which is one reason why you're the best guy for the job, because of your superpowers and silly windy bullshit. Okay, I'll do my best. What should I do right now? Get prepared. Make all the equipment you think you'll need. Stay out of trouble. Wait for Jay to send that code. Wait for me to contact you for the first time. And do your best to humor him while he ignorantly attempts to flame you back into the puddle of slime you crawled out of. Please. Oh man, our first conversation ever? I can't wait. Yeah, but can I just say something in my defense before that happens? I don't actually hate you, and I never did. I was deluding myself. Deep down, I'm sure I was always pretty okay with you. Thanks, Carcat. It wasn't a fucking compliment. The scrapbook is now in hopeless disarray. Feel free to examine the clippings while I tidy. Here's one for you. It's a Whopper. Are you ready? For what? This huge fucking Whopper I'm about to just say. You mean a canard of behemoth-thick embellishment? What? Or was your resolve finally dismantled by the siren song? All that flame-broiled beef? No. Okay, first, do you even have Burger Kings out in the fucking woods? Why are you referencing things that obviously aren't in the woods, like terrible burgers? I'll limit my establishments of reference to lumber mills and sugar shanties from now on. Also, there's a Burger King less than 40 minutes from my house. I won't let this stand in the way of the new policy, though. There is. Okay, whatever. I'm talking about Dream Edge's dad. I mean, it was a doozy, like, psychologically speaking. Doozy is a slightly dumber word than Whopper. Certainly less delicious. It was absurdly heavy-handed. My subconscious was really slathering it on. Like whatever tangy sludge the king himself squirts on his bargain patties. It's possible that I dreamt it ironically. I don't know. I figured you'd be interested in hearing about it. It's every bit as thick and juicy as a half-pound of sizzling grade A premium. Okay, this is stupid. We gotta get burgers out of this conversation. Are you busy? Yes. Cool, listen to this. I thought you didn't want me to analyze your dreams anymore. No, but this one is too good not to put under the microscope with your whole precocious psychotherapy shtick. It's almost laughably symbolic of all my mental problems, assuming I actually have those. It's grotesquely pregnant with meaning, all gestating at least 8 gooey octuplets thrashing around in an undulating belly full of mind slime. Maybe we can start by evaluating that troubling metaphor. No, look, I just want your professional take on how many things in my dream symbolize dicks. already established that all of your dreams are packed with enough homoerotic symbolism to lift Freudian theory from the ashes of discreditation. Yeah, that's a given, but I don't even dream about puppets this time. Are you serious? I'm clearing my schedule. This is a major breakthrough. I know. It was so much more relaxing and enjoyable. It was about me dying repeatedly. Go on. I was in the dark place surrounded by this big flock of crows. God, this is so generically morbid. I'm sorry in advance for exposing you to my unconscious mind's R-word cliches. It's okay. They wouldn't be cliches if they didn't comprise the unanimously understood bedrock of phallic symbolism with no other viable interpretation. Well, obviously, I knew the birds were just black screaming sky dongs. Just hear me out. I kept dying. There kept being these traps, like I would go one way and get my head chopped off, or go another way and get stabbed or whatever. And every time I died, the dream reset itself, and I was standing there alive and ready to try to escape again. But each time, I would be watching myself from the vantage point of a different crow, like I was the crow all squawking around in circles like a macabre, flapping douche. And I would always watch myself try to do something different to dodge the trap, but I always ended up dead. Well, if I've learned anything from my extensive skimming over the Wikipedia articles on dream analysis, it's that this dream is very unlikely to have any literal significance whatsoever. It's probably not about dying at all. You mean maybe it's about anxiety over maintaining my blogs, or that my beats might not be ill enough? Yes, in fact, if you're on my couch, that would have been my next question as a licensed professional. Mr. Strider, have you considered that what you actually dread is to have your urban rhythms exposed for what they truly are, which is, clinically speaking, just shy of ta-bomb? And then we crack up laughing because we both know they're fresher than your mom's change of drawers and tighter than when she's wearing them. That's the deep conjuring imagery of my mother in her underpants is definitely keeping us buoyed high above this swirling Freudian hellhole. Well done. Please, it's not like she's my mom. I can visualize her choice ass all I want without it getting much more than moderately uncomfortable for everyone involved. What if you're wrong? About what? Her not being your mother? Don't worry, you're probably safe. Luckily, I can think of no literary or historical precedent for that sort of folly whatsoever. This isn't the first time you've insinuated we were related. What is up with that? Isn't it? No, I mean, I'm not sure. I feel like you brought it up before, which is kind of weird, but now I don't know. I think I'm getting this weird deja vu thing where I was sure we talked about this. Forget it. Why don't you tell me more about your dream? Okay, so I kept dying and kept being crows and stuff, and then I started to notice something coming from the sky. It was this faint, eerie singing. I look up and there's nothing there but just darkness. That's interesting. I read about this. What did you read? Certain texts say singing from the unknowable void carries a message that its recipient has been selected for a mission of supreme cosmic importance that will result in your death and that of billions more, but one that is essential to the perpetuation of existence itself. The fuck sort of crackpot psychology text would say something like that? That's not it. It's not from a psychology text. So then you're consulting astrology books now? Not astrology, more like zoology. Oh my fucking god, will you put that away? Okay. Keep describing the dream though. If the rest of it is incompatible with prognosis of the zoologically dubious, I will withdraw my insinuation. There's not even much more to it. I looked up into the sky, didn't see anyone singing, but even though the sky was black, I could see the sun. It was bright as hell, even through my shades. So I flapped my wings and flew up away to its fucking piece of shit. And that's it. This doesn't strike you as an impulse of self-destruction? No, not in the sense that it was a dark, sacrificial zoology mission. It was more like somewhere to go besides watching myself die a lot from the vantage of a feathery murder of dumb, shitty birds. So if hypothetically you were to accept such a mission, or even insist upon one, it wouldn't be in the spirit of genuine sacrifice, but of escape? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, something's wrong. This whole conversation is falling apart. This isn't how it originally went at all. We're making good progress, too. Why did you have to go and remember? This happened months ago. Does this mean I'm dead? I gotta go grab another drink quick. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I gotta fill up my water, too. Oh. Hydration. Instrumentation. Okay. Well, am I in free? Oh yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Oh yeah, my wife is going to bed, so I'm just a little extra. A little extra time. Slightly over halfway through, which will start the stream. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how long I can physically keep reading. But yeah, I'll be back. Okay. Okay, after this page, yeah, maybe that might be a good idea, because we're already hitting. Three and a half, well, 3 hours. Okay. What do you think? Stop it. This is so sick, using the dream bubble bullshit to pick apart my psyche. Am I dead or asleep? If you're starting to remember, you should be able to tell me. God damn it. Maybe I'm just confused with you about it? Yeah, right. Am I dead or asleep, Dave? I don't know. Try to remember. Feel free to examine the clippings when I tell you to eat. Oh, yeah, because then there's the different panels. Okay, yeah, that seems... You think it'd be good to stop after I click all the panels, or... Okay, no, so wait for it. Okay. Alright. Yes, more or less. Okay. Here. We'll just stop here. It's a good place to stop. Oh, like you said. Okay. So that was a lot of very... I know I was reading a little fast, but, you know, we're just trying to make sure. I will definitely be able to finish. If I only have 3 hours left, I'll be able to finish before I go on vacation. That, you know, kind of sped things up a little bit, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Disc 1. Oh, I didn't even, that's so funny that we have the disc. No, the DJing was great. It was really, really great. It does a lot. That is so funny that we've got a disc 1. I didn't even... Was that there, or did they... Was that might have been added after, I guess. Yeah. I was like, I feel like I would have noticed that. But yeah, that's actually a lot of fun. It's dynamic, yeah, okay. Yeah, still not at... whatever this next unlock thing is, but... that is okay with me. Sounds like someone's eating. Okay, Sweet Bro and Ella Jeff. Zam, got my popcorn for sports. Beep earlier. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Insane poop pop. Museum, got my popcorn for sports. Latler. So full piles. Full. The sport pile doesn't stop from getting taller. That's the comic. Fuck much, it's just a wall. The end. Oh yeah, bitches. Alright, one more. Last flannel. Well, were you expecting Einstein, the tooth fairy? Enough said, Ledger. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna be back on here in just a little bit, but I'm going to end the stream so that we can separate out these friggin' Homestuck streams, and then I'm gonna jump back in probably in like 5 to 6 minutes. So I will be back in just a little bit.